seated, please. Call to order the sitting of this Honorable Senate for Friday, January 23, 2026. And I extend a warm welcome to all members of the Senate on both sides, and the administrative staff of the Senate, and our visitors who are here. I extend a warm welcome to you. This is the first sitting of the Senate since the beginning of this new year in 2026. And I trust and hope that all would have had a wonderful Christmas. In spite of Melissa, right across Jamaica, I saw where the government, and particularly the UDC, the government of Jamaica, would have brought joy to many of the areas that were impacted by Melissa, and particularly the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Hanover, that were impacted severely. With the UDC doing a lot of social activities, fireworks not seen before in some of those parishes. So what Kingston would have been accustomed to through the UDC, that was also taken across Jamaica. And I think it had really brought joy to a lot of persons based on the comments that I saw. So we are here in 2026, and we will ensure that the legislative agenda is carried through as efficiently and effectively as possible. Statement by, Minister.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. President. If I might be allowed to add my words of welcome once more to colleagues returning from the Christmas recess, and of course to all the supporting teams present, our Hansard teams, all the members of the parliamentary staff, Mr. Marshall, Deputy Clerk, acting and supporting teams, and our orderlies, to thank everyone for their continued support in advance for the remainder of this legislative year, and also to express the hope that not only did you get a good and regenerative rest over the Christmas, I myself charged myself with responsibility to sleep as much as humanly possible. Didn't achieve my full goals, but it was a taxing year for many of us, and I do hope that you all managed to take the rest required and to spend time with family, so that we return this morning re-energized and ready to reaffirm our commitment to pursuing the constitutional duties that we have as members of this honorable chamber. Mr. President, I want to also wish everyone peaceful, prosperous, healthy, and productive year ahead, and to look forward to a collaborative energy and spirit to be brought to the work ahead of us. That is, of course, always with the people of Jamaica in our hearts and at the forefront of our minds. I wish to also ask, Mr. President, just for your leave this morning, to allow me to be able to recommit bills taken from the House and the notices of motion given orally when I return, because I do need to ask your indulgence to exit. I'm going to do the impossible and be in two places at one time this morning. I leave, of course, for the continued performance of the House, the first statement by Minister Hill and the second statement by Minister Morris Dixon, whereafter, of course, we will proceed with the act to amend the JAMPRO bill and the other item for the under the trade portfolio, the industry and investment portfolio, whereafter we will, of course, take the matters which I just referenced for recommittal. So again, thank everyone in advance for their cooperation, wishing everyone not only a good morning, welcoming our guests, who I'm sure will be welcomed more formally shortly, and hoping for a good and productive collaborative first day back in this Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Lambert Brown.
To speak from a chair other than mine.
Permission.
Yeah. I'm going to surprise you, Minister. I'm going to echo all that you have said. So we want to start the new year with consensus and unanimity. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that for the rest of the year. I want to start by saying I have nothing more to add to what you have said. Senator Scott Motley would normally be here. He's also engaging in an activity of newness, as I believe is the president, in that some people are being called to the bar today, and the president is involved, and so is Senator Scott Motley. And that's the only reason why, Senator Gale, I'm in this chair. One day, Bush, but this is going to be less than a day. Less than a day. So we echo what the minister said, and we thank you. And I hope, Minister, if I can just disagree with you, that we will meet more often so that our colleagues don't feel, who are new, don't feel, why is the Senate not meeting? But I know there's a packed legislative agenda, and we look forward to working in the best interest of the people of Jamaica. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Senator Brown. And as you have said, you have also indicated the reason for the absence of the substantive president, as well as I received an apology from Senator Rosemary Bennett Cooper, who is traveling on government business. All right, so that accounts for her absence this morning. No, I thought he was going to be here, based on what I was told. All right, we have several persons who are present with us this morning. In fact, from being here in 2016, I've not seen a list so long of persons who are present, but I just wish to extend a warm welcome to all our visitors. And when I look at the list I have before me, and having regard to what was expressed by the leader of government business, indicating that there will be a statement from the minister with responsibility for education, I can understand why this list is as it is. And the fact that persons would have taken time out of obviously other things that they could have been doing, I'm going to go through the list to recognize the persons who are present. So I ask for your indulgence. Today we have with us Dr. Kassan Troop, Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Education, Ms. Terrian Thomas Gale, Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Latoya Harris Gartney, Executive Director, National Education Trust, Mr. Kerry Brown, Director, Technical Services Unit, Mrs. Vivian Johnson, the Deputy Chief Education Officer, Dr. Caroline Deslandes, Executive Director, Early Childhood Commission, and other persons from the Ministry, Communications Manager, and the photographer. We have to recognize those are the persons that get out the information. Other stakeholders, and they are seated in the gallery. Mr. Mohammed, Mohoidin, I hope I got that correct. Deputy Representative from UNICEF, Jamaica. Ms. Alison Chisholm, Emergency Coordinator, UNICEF Jamaica. Mrs. Tamar Mackenzie, President, Jamaica Independent Schools Association. Mr. Stuart Jacobs, the President, National Parent Teacher Association of Jamaica. Mrs. Mitzi Harris Dillon, immediate past President of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, as well as from that organization, Mrs. Ava Bigney Edmond, Vice President, Finance and Administration. Mr. Courtney Winter, President of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen for Secondary Institutions, Mr. Rodine Richardson, the Chair of the National Youth Advisory Council of Jamaica, Ms. Karen Zaka, Projects Director, Sandals Foundation, Ms. Heidi Clark, Executive Director, Sandals Foundation, Mrs. Fiona Porter Loft, Chief Editor from Cheetah Books and Toys, as well as from the World Food Program, Dana Sachetti, and Morgan Kelly and Christina Williams, who are from the Youth Advisory Council of Jamaica. So I ask the Senate to recognize their presence. Happy to have you here, and we trust that your stay here will be one that is enjoyable to you all. Thank you for being here. Statements by ministers. Senator, Minister of Industry and Investment and Commerce, Minister Hill.
Mr. President, it's good to be back in the Senate. Happy New Year to all my colleagues. And we've had a very eventful last part of the year, part of which is why I'm going to make a statement this morning. Mr. President, on January 16, 2026, our ministry, Jamaica's business ministry, hosted the official launch for the reopening of the business vendor shops at the border. It is at the border of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, and it is called Border. It was an important moment, bringing vendors back into their space and restoring activity at a key point of commerce. The original 37 shops, Mr. President, were all almost literally completely torn down. A couple pieces of concrete were left. We tore down those, fixed back, reinstalled the 37 shops, added another 14 to make it 51. So instead of 37 that were there, we created 51. A uniform, you'll actually really like the promenade it has turned out to be. So when what we did was to make sure we not only return the shops, Mr. President and colleagues, but we built a kitchen for 11 stoves that they can cook their stuff on. They had some little make-to arrangements before that acted as kitchen. We now built a kitchen. We're going to mesh it, make sure the air goes through, tall ceiling, and they can then do their cooking in a specified area. We're also building a gazebo where if you go there to buy whatever they sell, and that's from fish and lobster, shrimp, coral goat, and other stuff across the road where it's private business, people have now decided that the shops look so good, they're adding their businesses there. You'll hear a little bit about that later. But we also, we are building a gazebo so that if you stop there and you want a place to eat, you go and eat there. Generally, many people who after eating say, oh, I should take some of this home for the people who are at home. But you don't do that if you buy the food, take it in the car, off you go, and then there's no buying afterwards. So we're looking that that kind of arrangement can increase the business. A new generator was provided to a vendor who has a business across the street, not in the same promenade as the shops, but across the street, which is private property. The shops are, of course, on government property. A private entrepreneur has upgraded the pay and use bathroom facilities across the street because he's so pleased with what has happened at the vendor shops. He had this place there that people used to pay $100 to use. We said to him, look, you're going to have to improve this. And I set him up with JBDC. He didn't wait for JBDC. Once we got to about 25 of the new shops, Mr. President, he decided that business is good for him. He expanded, upgraded his facilities, and of course, his business is thriving. But other people who he rented the place to, one of the ladies there didn't have a generator. We gave her a generator because we give generators as well, as I'll mention in a little while. The roof of the vendors' shops are reinforced with hurricane straps. Sanitation stations for hands and pot washing have been installed. Concrete pavements have been laid in which the shops have been installed in the concrete to strengthen the stalls. When you went there, you could shake the stuff. Now we put them in the concrete, they're firm, and we put hurricane straps to hold the roof on. And of course, the wind will go through the strap. They should be strong unless, of course, you have another really major climatic event. A revetment border made of stones will be built in a short time to shield the shops and general area from rough seas. Because the sea is right there, we make sure we put a revetment wall. That's going up. Contractors will be putting it in so that it's a place where you will have a measure of safety from the seawater. Mr. President, I'm pleased to confirm again, we've announced before that Sean Paul and his team were at the border region around the same time we were there. When we got there, Sean had already given some zinc and board to people who operate at border. When we got there, though, and outlined what we're going to do, in that we're going to rebuild all the shops and add some more, they said to us, can we take home the material that Sean Paul given us? Said we have no, right now, and this is early days, right after the hurricane, we have tarpaulin, the wind blow it up, we're going to take this zinc at home, use the board to fix, and we say, yeah, go ahead and do it because we're going to give you the new shop. So Sean helped a great deal in that effort, and especially in the homes of the vendors. The Prime Minister, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, delivered the keynote address at the launch ceremony on the 16th. I shared remarks, and we also heard from the Honorable Floyd Green, who is the Member of Parliament for that southwest area of St. Elizabeth, and of course is also the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. And it was a very good time indeed. Miss Samara South of Jerry and Nephew and Miss Monica Baker, who is one of the vendors there, they spoke on behalf of the shop owners. Jerry and Nephew, Mr. President, our leading partner for the renovation, carried out the rebranding and beautification of the vendor shops, ensuring that these businesses function, and they spent millions of dollars to make sure the signs are done well. You know, I have a video here. Is my? Are we ready to run the video? I don't. Get in there. Is it ready to roll? I'd just like to take a break here and show you where we're coming from and where we are. If the video, I think it has been loaded, but I'm sure it will come in time. Or are we going to have a dance or not? It will come. It will come. So Jerry and Nephew spent quite a few $1 million to put up the branding. That's it, part of it. Spirited moment that your granny used on your mole. Every shop owner, Mr. President, received buckets thanks to the Tourism Enhancement Fund, who supplied 55 buckets for food preparation and cleaning. At the reopening, the Prime Minister also unveiled 2 new signs installed at both the St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland end. And here we are. Video can roll. All right, building forward, stronger. Mr. President. So we will, we also have other videos of the opening, but we'll see at another time. I didn't hear that, funny. Is there something I must bring for you next time? Mr. President, we have done all this work and provision to help about 70 vendors. Remember now, we've done this in a period of 9 to 10 weeks, right after the hurricane. Thank you very much. It's not just 70 vendors, Mr. President. There are 26 fishermen, at least, for a total of between 350 to 400 family members in the group of Jamaicans at border. One of our main objections was to burnish the dignity of these hard-working Jamaicans by putting up these vendor shops for them so they can be proud of what they do. And the truth is, Mr. President, they are very proud and very thankful to the government for it. I want to also acknowledge Mr. Robert Morgan, who provided support for the road improvement. Because of the hurricane, a whole like a ravine was dug out across the road. And I said, look, can you help us to get this done near the end? And he did. He got somebody down there. Didn't have the asphalt for the day of the opening, but it was so well pressed and rolled that it proved to be a real assistance to us, and that traffic could move more carefully. We're going to have to, there are lots of big trucks that pass there. In a short while, we're asking the NWA through Minister Morgan to put in some speed impediment. Not, you can't put sleeping policemen on a main road, but you can use those material that they use on the highways, like metal stuff. When you run over it, it sort of tells you that you should slow down. And we're getting those to put there because it's a lot of people who stand and operate around that border region. The minister worked with the Ministry of Health to facilitate the recertification of people who lost their food handlers' permits due to the passage of Hurricane Melissa, in addition to certifying those who do not currently have those permits. So we want to make sure. I met the Minister of Health people there, and they're always kind of going there regularly to do it. So That's what we've done with border in a short period of time. But that's not the only thing we're doing. As you know, Mr. President, I have been around the 7 parishes, the ones that are most affected by the hurricane, at the mandate of the Prime Minister, who said, okay, Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, you go out there, you get businesses back up. We have people looking after houses, Mr. Charles and his group. We have people looking after agriculture, Minister Green, people looking after health and so on. But we must get businesses back up because that's how the communities work. And you've seen me out there in St. James, Mr. President, and in the process, the ministry also put in we bought 40 generators. And since we've given them out, Mr. President, we've had about 6 or 7 returned to us because the agreement is that, and I want to make this very clear for the record, Prime Minister in Cabinet was very, very clear. He said, look, Minister Hill, you cannot use ODPEM generators or anything that ODPEM has. What ODPEM has is for the Jamaican people to be handled by the Jamaican government. We cannot give what the gifts that have been given by whoever our friends are who have been given, local and foreign, and give it to private businesses. These are private businesses that are in there to make money. So what we had to do in the ministry is go through the procurement process, buy the generators from local suppliers under a procurement arrangement, and then we have an agreement with them that they sign, and we give that each one a generator, and the agreement is a couple of days after the JPS brings back the power, we go and take back the generator, give it to somebody else who needs it. So that has been a rolling arrangement, and it has worked quite well, and we've helped many communities. The ministry, through the Business Restoration Working Group, will continue to give the generators and loan. That program will continue, and key businesses in the 7 parishes will get help. We're looking, and Senator Keith Duncan, has been working very closely with the ministry. Minister Marks was on that committee, but she is so very busy with speed and doing a lot of things. So Senator Duncan has been really working with the permanent secretary of the ministry and other technical people in the ministry to put out a voucher that will be giving effectively grants to people in business. We're not giving grants to houses. We do business. So, but we have to make sure we get it right. Luckily, we don't have to recreate the wheel because some of what was used in the COVID program, Senator Duncan and lots of people who work with him have been making the adjustments to make this work because we have to have an audit trail. This is taxpayers' money. We have to make sure if it's given as a grant, it's somebody who deserves it, and like we did with the generator. As I was saying, Mr. President, that we will make sure that it's done right, and he is going to be very, very proud of those fishermen that Minister Floyd Green give the grants $250 a million, some of them $5 million, to make sure that our fisher folk get back in place, because we can't have border or anywhere else we're working and the hotels working unless we have fishing going. But we're very pleased to know that what we do in this administration, we make sure it's accountable and it's transparent. Mr. President, I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister has ordered this, and the contractors, and Mr. President, it's not easy. Our system is not built necessarily to work in a crisis, but we had to make it work. And I want to say thanks to the Permanent Secretary, Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Dr. Riley from the HRSA, Ms. Shelley Leon from the company's office, JAMPRO, all my 20 agencies. We had 221 volunteers from these 20 agencies to go out and do the work on the street. So thanks to all of them, and I'm very happy for the way the people at border are happy. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Hill.
Mr. President.
Senator Keisha Anderson.
Yes, that's me, Mr. President. I beg permission to speak from a seat.
Yeah, you have that permission, ma'am.
Thank you. Morning, everyone. Minister Hill, it is today 7 weeks since the 5th of December. At that point, we had dialogue and video on board, and don't get me wrong, I am very happy for the 70 vendors, 26 fishermen, and the families that benefited from what has been done in border. I guess my disappointment is that border seems to be a very good case study of what can be done, but I wonder about the many other areas like that in the communities that were hard hit. Okay, and I really wonder if they are feeling that their dignity has been restored in this time period. And if I look wider, I think of the MSMEs as a whole across the communities that were hard hit. As I had said back in December, that the MSMEs, the small businesses or hairdressers or shopkeepers, are the lifeline of any community, and if they die, then the community dies. So as we walk around and assess, and your team assesses, I have a couple of things that I wonder. I wonder about the assessment of the entire business, because their life won't return to being how it was pre-hurricane immediately. So I wonder who is actually helping these people to figure out if they have to have any changes to their business plans and what they should be doing and focusing on. I wonder about the access to funds that they may need. I had made a plea to look at or to work with the financial sector around moratoriums, because we do know that default rates at times like these tend to increase, and I expect it will happen if some of these persons used personal funding to borrow for their business. And I want to call again, I thank the minister and his team for the waiver that was given, or the reduction in fees, but I really think that we can do better by waiving the fees, the vending fees, the licensing fees, the fees for the letters of good standing for a period of up to 1 year. It was done. Great, great. I'm glad to hear that, Minister. So when you next return, Minister, I look forward to hearing about the impact of the DBJ funding. I look forward to hearing what your partners in the MSME Alliance or the Small Business Association feel about the recovery, and to getting some more statistics so we can have a true picture of how our MSMEs in the affected areas are actually coping post-Melissa. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Anderson. Senator Lambert Brown.
That's fine. I have my spoiler. Get ready for that. Minister, in your statement, I think you must be aware that I was disappointed that the statement was so short, but then you filled it out. In the statement on page 2, I didn't trigger you. I'm used to you making a lengthy statement. But let's get to the question. You said that a revetment, a stone facility will be made to protect the shops and the general areas from the rough sea. And I'm asking you if there's a timeline for this to be completed. And that question is against the background of in 2007 or thereabout, Minister Tufton, then Minister of Agriculture, and MP. An MP, that's what I'm asking you. An MP went to the area and promised the vendors at border, and I'm happy that they're getting all of these benefits. I'm happy that they're being restored, because I'm a regular purchaser. Even when I don't go down there, I ask people to buy things from them for me, right? So I really am happy for the restoration. But I want to know, given the previous promise of uniform, etc., an improvement, when this promise about the protection from the seas will be implemented, because I'm into implementation, not just mere promises. A note on page 2, well, this is formerly page 2, that was page 1, that you said the Prime Minister was there, Minister Flight Green. But part of the reason why it's named Border is that it borders southwest St. Elizabeth and eastern Westmoreland. And in the national recovery, it's important that we show a bipartisan approach, a national rather than a my administration approach. And so I want to ask, was the Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland and the spokesperson for the opposition on agriculture, Dr. Dayton Campbell, invited to this function? Because one would believe that, given that the international community is looking to see whether we're treating this as a national thing and a bipartisan thing, and permit me, Mr. President, to just mention, I see some race driver in the Philippines supporting Jamaica on his car and so forth. So we have goodwill. And it's against that background of the goodwill being spoiled by partisan approach that I'm asking the question whether Dr. Dayton Campbell, the MP for the same area of border, was invited. And then you end with another promise. A voucher grant program is being finalized to help restore business with larger rehabilitation needs. I think what people want to hear, Minister, is when these will be completed. Not that they're going to be done, because we're tired of the promises. And I say this because I believe it's urgent. Senator Duncan will agree with me that the Chamber of Commerce recent business confidence survey wasn't the result we wanted. It was negative relative to the previous quarter. And so we need to provide the confidence to the Jamaican people by not just making general and vague promises, but to indicate timelines so people can hold us together. And I want to commend you if what you said is true about transparency and auditing and accountability, because the truth be told, you just accused me of being wicked. But the reports of the Auditor General is saying otherwise about your government. May it please you.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Senator Hill, Minister Hill, you want to respond or you want to take the other questions? Okay, go ahead. Respond for me, please.
Welcome, Mr. President, and good morning. Good to see you again. Mr. President, I'm going to answer the questions in the reverse order that they were given. The voucher. I mentioned the voucher, and if you notice when I came the first time, Senator, that I have delivered. I made sure I named the names who work with me. Keith and I don't work, forgive me, Senator. Keith and I have been wasting no time. So I asked him, we sit down there late. The reason why it hasn't come yet, because of the last thing you said. No matter how good we do the things, you wait until the Auditor General make a comment. And the Auditor General may not even make a comment and say something is wrong, like may have happened in RADA. No corruption, but something didn't go perfectly and it becomes a big issue. So you know what? We're almost there, but we're going to have that running arrangement. It's going to be digital. For the most part, the payments will be, so there'll be an audit trail for those who understand what that means in accounting, that you can follow it anywhere you go. Because if we do it well, Mr. President, we get the money out there, you hear how we corrupt and we never do the right thing and we give away the money and we give it to our friends. None of that. It's going to be done. We expect it. I had a meeting again with the ministry yesterday. It will be a short time. There are some things we have to do in the payment delivery, not so much from the ministry, but we have to get the payment delivery right so that the right people get the money at the right amount. No, because I'm not telling you the date when. When we fix that out, the money will be out there. Yeah, Mr. President, the second question related to Eastern Westmoreland, and I'm so glad that he walked into that area, because I made sure myself that the invitation was sent to MP and opposition spokesman in agriculture for the Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Damien, not Damien, the same one, Dr. Campbell. It was sent. It so happened that clearly had something else to do. No, it reached. No. I checked. So, because I know somebody like you would ask me. So, I want to tell you, Senator Brown, that the first constituency we went to after the hurricane was South St. James. MP Nikisha, your spokesperson, Burchell, and she actually was very gracious. We went there. We delivered a generator in the night, must be about 8 o'clock, to a restaurant. And she was there. We delivered one of our bigger generators to the restaurant. And so off we go. So no. We're not, in case you aren't aware, the election is over. This is about Jamaica, Inc. We're running Jamaica.
Thank you very much, Minister.
The next question. The next question was about the revetment, Mr. President. Revetment, instead of getting concrete,
about what?
Revetment is what that border you put, like out that palisades, those big stones there, you call it a revetment to keep out the sea.
I know what a revetment is, and I just never heard you.
Oh, okay. Glad, Mr. President. Thank you. So. We have the most learned president you could ever have. So, there you go. So, Mr. President, the revetment, he asked about the time. I can answer it this way. I can confirm that the scope for the work was approved by the QS through the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. I'm pretty sure that scope has gone to the contractor, and the work, if it didn't start today, will start next week, and we expect that in a short period of time. I expect that it will start next week because the scope has been approved. So, but also it's more than that. We also ask, we don't do the work unless the scope is approved by the QS, as you know. As you know. So the wastewater, we're talking with TEF, because you can't have the stalls, the vendor shops are on the seashore, which is the government's land. We don't want the wastewater to go into the sea, so we're making sure that we work with TEF to get an arrangement that the water is transported across the street onto the other side of the land to protect the seacoast, because we expect that although we've had to clear truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of rubbish that was torn down by the storm, we know that we expect that the morass will grow back to protect the sea area. Financial institutions, Senator. You asked me about moratorium. Yes, financial institutions, Exim Bank, for instance, I can tell you that last week, I just spoke to Dr. Lowe 2 days ago. Last week, I know that he, on lend to Exim Bank, $250 million for clients. Many of them, even before that, even the last time I came, first thing that happened, as you know, as a banker, I called in the Exim Bank and say, make sure you give moratoria to those lenders because they're all going to need it for the most part, because the borrowers from Exim Bank tend to be small and medium-sized companies, a few big ones, but it's really people who need the help. The other non-government financial institutions clearly have had to do the same thing. I know that that's happening, and that is working. Is it perfect? No. We'll have to continue to see how much more we can give, and I know the DBJ is working out their process. And the last one is, how did we do the assessment? The first meeting I called, I was in Korea when Melissa hit. I came back a day or so after. First meeting I called was with 100 of Jamaica's biggest distributors in food, pharmaceutical, building materials. We called them in. And I did that, Mr. President, because it was our view, certainly my view, that that's the best place you can get information from. They know their customers. They know who are reliable, who pay on time. They know who serve the broadest number of people in the communities. So the first assessment was with the people who actually deal with money. The distributors not telling you somebody good. And they're not good because they can't get paid. So we worked with them. But we have the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. Many of those people are clients of the JBDC. We have information from the Exim Bank. We have information from the Company's Office of Jamaica. And so it is that combination of data that we were able to use to make the assessments. But above all that, I insisted that every generator, any money we give out, we must attend and see that the place operates. You as a banker, the worst thing that can ever happen to you is that you give a loan, the loan doesn't go well. When the examiners go in, they say, but there is no record on file of the bank of visiting the place of business. How did the money get disbursed? Okay, so we make sure that our people themselves, those 221 volunteers, are part of the people who make that final assessment for the disbursement. Mr. President, those are the answers, if it pleases you.
Thank you very much. Minister, just before you get to Minister Morris Dixon, I just ask the Senate to acknowledge. You can stand for me, please. I had the privilege of calling these young lawyers to the bar this morning. I consider it a privilege. It's a great day of hope and pride for themselves and their families, many of whom are sitting in the gallery. So we welcome them to the legal profession, and I use the President's privilege to invite them to the chamber. So thank you for acknowledging them. Minister Morris Dixon.
Mr. President, colleagues, leaders from the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, in particular PS, Dr. Kassan Troop, and our Chief Education Officer, Terry-Ann Thomas Gale. Also our other representatives from the ministry who are here. I acknowledge all of you. And Chairman, I know we had gone through a list, but I just wanted to again thank some of our key partners who are here. Deputy Representative for UNICEF, Mr. Mohamed Moayuddin, Mr. Dana Sacheti, Head of WFP Jamaica Office, Stuart Jacobs, President of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica and the team there, Mr. Courtney Winter, President of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions, Mrs. Tamar McKenzie, President of the Jamaica Independent Schools Association and her team, representatives from the Sandals Foundation, Mrs. Heidi Clark and Mrs. Karen Zaka, Mrs. Fiona Porter Loft, Chief Editor for Cheetah Publications, our members of the Youth Advisory Council of Jamaica who are here, Morgan Kelly, and also Christina Williams who are here. Mr. President, I also had invited the President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, but he was not able to attend today, so I tried to bring as many of our stakeholders here this morning. Mr. President, on Tuesday, October 28, Jamaica endured one of the most devastating natural disasters in our modern history. Our education sector, especially in Western Jamaica, was hard hit. In fact, 447 schools in Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, and Manchester were severely impacted. Approximately 8,000 teachers and over 152,000 students faced unprecedented operational disruption. There was therefore, quite understandably, Mr. President, widespread anxiety across the system. But Mr. President, thanks to the strong leadership in our education sector from our teachers and administrators at the school level, to our teams in the region, to our technocrats in the central ministry, we all pulled off a historic turnaround. And that's worthy of clapping. Our stakeholders responded with urgency, with creativity, and with a sterling commitment to the golden principle that education must continue despite any challenges that we may face. No matter the adverse circumstances, education must continue. When schools stop, learning losses accelerate. Child nutrition and welfare support can be disrupted. The ability of parents to work is affected. For many of our most vulnerable children, learning is their only opportunity to realize their full potential. That is why the recovery of the education system was treated as a national priority by this administration from day one. And that focus, Mr. President, has delivered tangible results. Mr. President and colleagues, I'm pleased to report that as of January 14, 2026, all schools resumed teaching and learning.
Remember, say these junker take out reading out of school, you know. Big up on yourself, you know, Christy, we are dealing with, Beverly, Ivani, big up yourself, big up everybody who there, and Gloria, I see, you know. Big up everybody. Now this junker, them take out reading out of school. Continue, listen.
Mr. President, I'll say it again for clarity. Within 90 days of the most devastating weather event in recent memory, a 1-in-100-year storm, all schools resumed operations and all schools resumed learning and teaching. The team at the ministry has been deploying resources to the schools who need it most. Working with our partners at UNICEF, 92 heavy-duty classroom-sized tents were donated to schools in the West. UNICEF will also be distributing around 300 learning kits in short order. And if you look outside, and I ask my colleagues, on the other side, if you could please look outside, you'll see some of what's happening in our schools. Outside.
You think like shit about our school. Which part our school? Which our school? Which our school? If you have a young crocodile, if you have a baby crocodile.
We have an example of a school in a box. And so some of our schools have already been able to utilize this. So if a school is damaged, that school in a box can be used anywhere. It can be in a tent, it can be under a tree. A teacher can deploy that. It has all of the learning resources that would be needed. It has crayons, it has notebooks that children can use, and other material inside of it. And I have lots of examples, Mr. President. And when you look outside, you'll see it. You'll have everything you need to try to do class wherever class can take place. And we thank UNICEF for that. And I ask you to look outside at that huge learning school in a box is what it's called, that UNICEF has been working with us to deploy across the system. The World Food Program is also here, and my namesake Dana has also been a significant partner to the education sector as we navigate Melissa's aftermath. They have been providing meal support to families and young children. Recently, they have extended mobile storage units to our damaged institutions to remove another barrier to their normal operations. And as I speak, the World Food Program has a technical team on the ground engaging with vulnerable communities.
Your name no Dana, your name Wood Blood Clot Pecker, Woodpecker. And you pick off the best baby father who dead. Yeah, Woodpecker.
And schools to identify priority institutions and assess the feasibility of restarting and strengthening the school feeding program using emergency food solutions. And as a part of the work with the World Food Program, we're working with the Ministry of Agriculture to look at how we can expand the number of school farms and greenhouses and how we can make those more resilient going forward. Because we are not just thinking about the physical structure, we're also looking at nutrition. And we feel that as we build in resilience, it's important that our school farms and greenhouses are also resilient. And so I thank the World Food Program for their support in that. In terms of hard educational resources, over 9,542 pieces of furniture have been procured by the ministry and are being delivered to outfit the newly repaired and reopened classrooms. Mr. President, in some schools, after the hurricane, there was so much damage to the furniture, for example.
The thing I hear about that woman again, they say she want to be the next Prime Minister. She a farm for her local group, allegedly, to be the next Prime Minister. This little shitbag can be Prime Minister?
There was mold on some of the pieces of furniture, and we had to throw those out. We can't use them again. And so we've had to procure some additional furniture, and schools have been sending in their requests. And so 125 schools have benefited from these deliveries, and I'm happy that I was able to witness one of these deliveries when I visited a Kampong primary a few weeks ago. I saw the relief and renewed confidence it brought to the staff and students firsthand. I know the impact of these deliveries. Harry Watch Primary in Manchester,
yeah, Laura, she know, in St. Man. Primary in Manchester,
Alderton Primary and Infant in St. Anne, St. Christopher School for the Deaf in St. Anne, Hague Primary in Trelawney, Herbert Morrison Technical High School in St. James, Howard Cook Primary in St. James, and K Valley Primary in Hanover are examples of schools that have benefited. Anyone who asks, they get it. Minister Wheatley and the team at the Office of the Prime Minister have also been providing hundreds of STEAM toys to schools in the West. Over 1,400 toys were handed over during Christmas and into the new year. And this has truly been an all-of-government effort, Mr. President. The OPM is supporting play-based learning, creativity, problem-solving, and early exposure to science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics, even as communities recover.
Take the floor officially.
And we feel, Mr. President, that it's important, and we've been emphasizing play as a part of dealing with the psychosocial trauma for the children. But in order for us to deal with that trauma, it's nice to have dollies, but it's even better to have science toys. And so this partnership with OPM we very much welcome, and the children are very happy to receive it. Mr. President, the NWC and JPS have also been working with us to prioritize schools for utility restoration. Each week, the JPS does a meeting with the ministry and team, and through those meetings, the JPS has been able to identify the schools on the path and the route that they are now restoring and have prioritized our schools. And so I thank the JPS, and I also thank the NWC for all of that work that they have done. Our schools cannot open without water especially, and electricity also assists us tremendously. Mr. President, I'm most proud of our learning kits, and those are outside, and I really ask everybody to look at what's out there. So you have workbooks like this, Mr. President. Graphic artists and copywriters from across the ministry and our agencies work night and day to develop these amazing learning kits. And we want to thank them. It's been hard because our children are not in school. And so we've had to be able to, while they were out, give them work that they could do. But now that they're back, it's not perfect.
I will try to phone a book friend own a bookstore. I will try to own a friend own a bookstore them. Cause the book them not free, you know. So I will try to own a friend own a bookstore. I will try to own a bookstore on a cover. I will try to own a bookstore them on a cover and put it in somebody else's name. Which one I don't own them bookstore, I go sell them book here and put it in somebody else's name.
All schools are operational, but not all of them have been repaired. And so some schools are on a shift system. You have students coming in some days and not others. And so these learning kits are absolutely important for them to take home, and you'll see in them sections for the parents, work that they can do on their own so that learning doesn't stop, even if they are not at school on a particular day. And so as of today, Mr. President, 4,500 modified curriculum guides, approximately 34,000 literacy and numeracy preparatory material, and over 43,000 learning workbooks are being distributed to students and teachers. We're targeting key transition years and examination cohorts so that students can consolidate foundational skills and stay on track despite the disruption. In terms of grants, Mr. President, I would have noted in my last statement that the government had approved cleanup grants to our public institutions. So in addition to physical resources, $616 million was made available to public schools through the Rapid Resumption Grant. The grant facility continues to provide upfront cleanup support ranging from $300,000 to $1 million based on the severity of the impact. You need the school to not have debris on it. Even if it's not fully fixed and children are coming to school, we cannot have debris there. And so we've used those funds, given them to the schools, and the schools use it to clear the debris, and they can also use it for sanitation, restoration of utilities, and other essential amenities that they may need. Damage assessments, Mr. President, were also conducted across affected, privately operated early childhood institutions, and this is very important, and also our independent schools. Unsurprisingly, data revealed a wide variation in estimated damage costs, ranging from minor cleanup needs to severe structural damage. 335 schools, that's 318 early childhood institutions and 17 independent private schools have been impacted based on the preliminary assessment of the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education. So the breakdown thus far, we have 122 severe, 115 moderate, and 81 schools with mild damage. And if you put that in terms of people, that's 24,143 children and 2,313 staff members that have been affected in our early childhood institutions. Mr. President, we cannot allow our early childhood institutions to operate in a substandard state. Neuroscience and developmental studies are clear. The early years are when the brain is most adaptable. Our institutions are therefore an important pillar of that early development during these critical years. And so when we looked at the data that was there, it became clear, Mr. President, that despite the fact that these are not public institutions, that support should be provided to them for cleanup and minor remedial work. So, Mr. President, based on a situation analysis of that sector, I am very pleased to announce an extension of the rapid resumption grant to early childhood institutions and independent schools that have already reported to the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education. This is not something that's usually done, Mr. President, because these are private institutions. But given the fact that we've all agreed that the early years are so important, even though they are not public institutions, it is important that we support them as best as possible. And so, Mr. President, cleanup grants will be provided to these institutions based on the severity of impact. And of course, we can work through with them if we may need to give more. We will be going from 80,000 to 120,000 per institution to help them with cleanup. And based on preliminary assessments, we are expected to disburse approximately 31 million in grants in the first tranche, and additional funding can be made available to early childhood institutions should the need expand. And these grants, these grants are in addition to credit facilities that are now being offered through the Development Bank of Jamaica. And the Independent Schools Association is working with the DBJ for those private institutions so that they can be able to move that forward. Reconstruction of schools. Mr. President, the reconstruction of our schools demands that we move with speed and urgency. Every day a classroom is out of service is a day of learning that cannot be improved. Among our priority 1 schools, and those are the most severely damaged, work is actively underway at 56 schools. Contractors are mobilizing to commence works at another 98 schools. The remaining schools are at varying stages of the procurement process. And Mr. President, I want to thank and commend the team at NET led by Mrs. Garty and also Carrie Brown, who is in the ministry. They've been working really hard to mobilize these contractors so that they can get to work. Mr. President, between Minister Crawford, Senator Morgan, and myself, we have visited many of the impacted schools. He's very important to the ministry. I choose schools. Mr. President, I choose schools that are rural and as much as possible are not popular institutions. So I try not to go to the name brand schools, and I know NET knows that. When I ask them for a list of schools, they'll say, Minister don't want any that is popular. So we're trying to go to those who really need the assistance and to see what's happening there, Mr. President. And what we have found, name brand, what we have found was extraordinary. You would see a school without a roof in the before photos, but when you visit, you see a new roof. Yes. There was a specific case. There was a specific case, Mr. President, that I found quite memorable. There's a small school in the interior of Westmoreland called Carmel Primary and Infant, and the journey there was something. I remember the team saying it's just 2 minutes away, and 20 minutes later I was not there. But, and I will note, before Senator Brown asked me, I did invite the MP, Dr. Dayton Campbell, to come with me, but he was not able to join me. All right? So I did do it. But when you get to Carmel Primary, I found it very jarring, and you would too. You have this beautiful church up on a hill, but the church is in ruins. You can see it right there on the video. That church, beautiful church, destroyed. But then right next door, you see Carmel Primary School, repaired, ready, opened, students in class, happy, engaged, and most importantly, learning. I want to use this opportunity, Mr. President, to place on parliamentary record my sincere appreciation to our contractors and partners on the ground. I visited schools both before and after the Christmas break, and I saw firsthand teams working steadily and with purpose. In several locations, work continued through the holidays, including on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, so that classrooms, sanitation facilities, roofing, electrical systems, and other critical infrastructure could be ready for the start of our new term. My appreciation also extends to our suppliers. Mr. President, you know that during the Christmas, a lot of our suppliers, especially of steel and other building equipment that we need, they go on break. And I was able to call some of these suppliers, and they agreed to stay open during the Christmas so that contractors could get supplies. And so, Mr. President, that is what national service looks like in real time. Where we are today is the result of an all of Jamaica effort. Public servants, school leaders, contractors, suppliers, communities, and partners are all pulling in the same direction to put students back in safe, functional learning spaces as quickly as possible. At the same time, as I said in my last statement, we're not simply rebuilding, we're building much stronger. Based on initial feedback from the World Bank, our infrastructure standards are being further strengthened to improve quality, durability, and resilience in the face of future shocks. The donor community and their generous contributions are also very appreciated, Mr. President. We have several donors working with the National Education Trust as we speak. Two of them have joined us today, Sandals Foundation and CHEETA. CHEETA, which stands for Connect to Higher Education, Electronic Tools Application and Help, donated 1,620 pet books to our schools. Another donor, and thank you, CHEETA, another donor, the Sandals Foundation, is currently rebuilding King's Primary and Infant and Culloden Primary and Infant in Westmoreland. So thank you to Sandals Foundation for that. And as we thank them, allow me to shamelessly plug and ask for the education system. Marsh Primary, Mayfield Primary and Infant, Hopewell High, Green Pond High, and Little London High are among the primary beneficiaries of the 2026 Sagicor Sigma Run. And so, please sign up and donate to support Senator Brown. You and I, we can run together. Yes. Join me. Yes. Join me in running for the West on February 15, 2026. The target for 2026, wouldn't it be nice? The target for 2026 is $150 million. Let's best that. You can run, you can walk, or you can donate. No matter your choice, this is going to our schools, and I want to thank Sagicor and Sigma for their solidarity.
This is the next money that I look for teeth, you know.
On this effort.
These people on the bank, remember, you know.
Well, we are not getting any of the funds. Sandals will be repairing the schools. And in fact,
and it was supposed to rebuild a pediatric ward.
Yeah.
And then
them do a run for build a pediatric ward. And now them at the rest of them use the money and buy a machine.
By CT
scan. And
75 million.
And the run was never for that.
Yeah, but a CT scan is not for 75
million. No, but the run was never for that.
No.
So that, I don't know what they do.
So what them do with the money?
I know them are going to do more run again for teeth more money.
And then Andrew Wellness borrow from Bank of Jamaica just 2 days ago, 5 billion. What is he doing with so much money?
I say me prove, every day me prove, say Jamaican people are son idiot. Even the one them here come on social media talk like that sense. A blood clot idiot them be. Finally from the island. and now come together and so are going. Them a fucking idiot. Like everybody else, one group of idiot, one bunch of idiot.
Allow Andrew Wellness administration to steal their money. And when them have to work so hard and pay tax. Like,
even the PNP them don't idiot too, you know.
Huh?
Even the PNP supporters them don't idiot.
Remember, I know.
Like everybody just turn idiot.
Remember, I know.
Like these people cry. When time within time election time, PNP come out from every walks of life to support them party. I know the whole of them turn idiot. I just one group of idiot them. Them and the Labour, them are the said thing.
Yeah, because
they live in the said community and think the same way. Them are the said thing. But it's true, some of them are die-hearted PNP said we like we have die-hearted Labour. Them are still idiot. They don't know what they want. None of them don't know what they want. Fucking idiot.
Because when I say, if you know what is happening, why the one them want to know what happened? Why they not come
still
together?
Sit down.
They sit
See,
down.
the people in Westmoreland, see them are sign them up in a NIDS and them are broke fight to go take NIDS. To get $20,000. What the fuck is $20,000? What $20,000 can do to their house? Them are going to sell them freedom for 20 blood clot. Remember, they sell them vote for 5,000 and 10,000, you know. And now then come around again and go sell them freedom for 20 blood clot thousand. 20,000. When they carry out some marketing last 20,000, them are going to put themselves in a bandage for 20,000. 20 blood clot thousand. So when they see them come out attack, them are the same blood clot thing Lauren I deal with. The Labour and the PNP, them are the said, they don't know bomb clot sense. Remember me tell you, I'm not a political man, you know, I'm a revolutionist. And one time when I act like idiot, me I go talk. Because me is not a PNP, and me is not a Labourite. Me is a son of the soil. And based on what I go on now, the amount of PNP in the country, them could have changed things, matter the supporters. The supporters of the People's National Party could have make a difference. And all of the PNP supporters sit down and look like brother dog. I think Jesus will come bust out the sky and come help them. On a blood clot, sit down. Because people are looking on the whole on the same thing too. And me never pray that way then. But when we start analyze everything, we know the same thing. We know the Labour are the same thing. The PNP support and the Labour support are the same blood clot thing. We know living in the said community and the said bomb clot, worthless pussy hole. We sit down and blood clot.
Since you asked without asking, the Sagicor group is actually starting the work even before the run. So we need to make the money. They're already in the school starting the work. Another thing, Mr. President, that I would like to discuss is upcoming examinations. Mr. President, examinations were a major early source of anxiety. We recognize that stress trigger quickly and open the lines of dialogue with all education stakeholders. What we have arrived at...
Remember, you know, in a COVID time, we want them about the vaccine, you know. And we go through one whole heap of things through this same platform. One time I tell them, say, be careful of where Andrew Wellness and Christopher Tufton introduce soon because them don't know the side effect of this thing. See? And we tell them and then come out and say, we have spread misinformation, and we have propaganda this, and we have this, and we have that, and then come out, come see for themselves. Say, what we did attack in 2020. What's the truth? The same thing what we did attack in 2020. I want the people them both. Then come for see it for themselves. Say, it is the fucking truth. Here come again now, the mark of the beast system. We there understand what happened. Because certain information what we get outside of Jamaica, people who are on the style now go get it. So now we come and tell the people them, so watch this, be careful of these needs. Because the government are lie to you. When the government are going to have some local agent in the social media space, I go tell them say the needs can't make you travel without this and travel without that. That is dangerous, you know? Because the country full up a whole of idiot. And when time you tell them people, I say, we're not taking needs, we can't get for travel free. People are going to believe because I'm an idiot. So the people that want to spread this type of propaganda, they're dangerous people.
Yeah, because remember say them I tell them also, say the needs.
Are the same thing.
Make them travel.
And I say,
tell them and that is not true.
Them I tell them say the needs
are
the same thing used in the UK. That is a fucking lie.
That is a lie.
Because when you see protests going on in the UK about the needs. So how can them say the same thing using in the UK and America and different countries them when the people them in the street are protest against it?
And Jamaica not protest.
And Jamaica now protest against it. And them Jamaica now they say people in a different country are protest against it. Them now protest against it and try to convince themselves say the same thing used here. I don't live here. They never blood clot. They never travel to their community yet. They never travel go nowhere yet. Some of them born as little boy and dead as old man in their community. They never left out. Only local town near to their community they go. They not go nowhere. And I try to convince themselves with one lie. See the same thing used in a foreign country. And they never travel before. And one time people travel tell us, fuck them I tell you now. Them a come out and say we have spread misinformation. You give us one people for say it and they never have the sense. If you can't go tell, them brain can't tell them say, I'm going to look up and go do a research find this what them I talk about. They say how you go for true. One time we were on TikTok live and the labor them over there I tell lie. If you don't want them come off fast, I talk to everybody who they watch me now. If you don't go on TikTok live and see the labor them over there talk, you see, only thing you can text on there. Go and read and not want dunce, and not dunce like bat. You see, for your type that one in live, then get nervous. Any labor writer, you see the on any platform attack. Just go into the comment section and just type. You not dunce like bat. Go read. Go not dunce like. Just keep on type. Just text that. You don't have to cuss nobody nothing. Just keep on type that and you saw that get them turn idiot. Because them a come out contact on something where they don't know. And where they think. Or where they look a shit up friend tell them. But remember Jamaica PNP country, you know. Nomination day show we say a PNP country. Election show we say a PNP country. So the PNP them take side with Andrew Honest them?
No man, Andrew Honest just thief the election.
No, right now, to what go on. PNP shouldn't stand up for PNP. So it look like the PNP them take side with Andrew Honest. It come like the PNP them take time and take side with Andrew Honest. They don't have no faith. Them are got dead like a vagabond and Andrew Honest hand. I can't believe that set of people can so fool. I don't believe that Jamaican people can read. But think them pretend. I don't think so. I think them pretend like they can read. I don't think there's a nation where people them can read. But think them pretend. Jesus mercy God. A country has so much university. Different people live from different Caribbean country. I come Northern Caribbean University. Come study. That means the university up to standard and I teach them good. And you tell me say these people, these graduate, or these people who still are going to these institutions. You tell me say I saw them backward. Talk it through Beverly. I saw them people backward. Eh? No. Talk it true now. Even then things so out here tell lie around propagandist or spread misinformation. Information is there where they can get. Information is there. Eh? Information is there. Me say in a 2026 na the matrix, I think say the full set of people remain on earth is Jamaican. And the thing will flip in their head now about Jamaica are the best anywhere they go. Jamaica are the best anywhere. So that flip in their head now, and I know so they are no blood clot sense for true. Because the Jamaican, what they that think about in the 80s and 70s, it's a party we deal with. I don't want different type of Jamaican about. This new Jamaica we don't know it, you know. This new Jamaica we don't know it. You don't have no strong PNP again. The PNP them not no faith, then easy to sell out. And then we sell out and that style and pretend like they still a PNP. Because we in the last days, you know. You have to remember what them talk about the last days say, you know. The last days. The revolution days. We in the last days. So enough of these PNP are going to take money and pretend like they not take money. And still put on PNP shirt. Because I must that happen. Because there's no way Jamaica could have the majority of PNP live on the island. And this year go on. And the PNP they gather themselves together and say, no, if Labour right now on January, we are go there. We are go there. We are going to make a stand. And the thing about it now, if you don't want the thing to be beautiful, you don't wear no PNP clothes. All of the PNP them can get up, all over the island, and protest, and don't wear no PNP clothes, so they can't brand no who, Only just a protest, and a protest about the issue of African, so they can't say PNP supporters come out and all cause. They can't know. Some people are going to say, they want their people, but they don't know if whole on, They don't know if whole on, So if you hold on, put on your normal clothes. See him like how now get up in Upper Darley stand in Westmoreland. If you go take the mark of the beast, which is the NIDS, if you sign up, you get the $20,000. Remember them try this from the storm that come before burial, Remember them they try, Pernell Charles, they try it. And it never work. Only that listen to it. Because election did near. After Andrew Tiffy election now, when I stop listening to it to blood clot, the PNP them water down. And them used to up and down all over the island, but them a blood and fire comrade. Where is the blood and fire comrade? Where is the blood and fire comrade? Where a couple months back, the whole Jamaica orange. We really did see the blood and fire. Where is these people? So you tell me say there's so much people, Andrew Wallace use the police kill out. As so much people, Andrew Wallace use the police kill out. That's the blood and fire comrade we did there a couple months ago. Where is these people? Where is these people? If you can stand up for themselves. Because we know the time every top smoke man in one bottom, Saying? But at time now, for every tub start think, for every other is sub. So the PNP them for come out in a normal clothes all over the island, then can't identify the whole on. They not gonna know now who. Don't even put on a PNP band on. Just wear normal clothes on wear. Just on a normal clothes. A Jamaica the only country the people them afraid to come out to come protest for their own self. Then come Black Road for gunman, then come Black Road for thief, then Black Road for all type of people, but to do it for themselves. Then think it hard to stand up for their own self. But then do it for one time, then look a gunman dead in their corner, and then look a strong man, you see them Black Road and this and that. But one time they do it for themselves, they now come out and stand up for themselves. I never said this before. I never said this before. There are some people about, so a country develop, then community not develop, they not have piece of land, they not have a house for themselves, and some of them are board house they have. So when you have a board house, you don't really have a house. We don't have just a 2-room board house or 1-room board house, you don't have a house. You just have a local place to raise ahead to make fruit for further plan. So having a board house is just for condition you for own a permanent structure. So the board house are going to make a stop parent and stop pay some local things so you can knot things together for owner. But you can't do it. You can't do it. And why you can't do it? Because you know what list? Mark Golden Manifesto telling us say show the whole world on a what list. Mark Golden Manifesto show the world on a what list. But because we have an opposition party, that is why I say them a beat Christopher Tuffin and me. Because really and truly, a set of people are going to suffer. And I talk for me that day, when I look upon the racial, all the people them stupid Chrissy, I sorry say people go eat them in a Melissa. Nobody shouldn't go help non-Jamaican. Nobody outside shouldn't help non-Jamaican. The government would have to use the resources we then get and help the people them. And if they don't do it, the people them would have rebel. But because outside help, go in, the artists and different charity, go in and help, it make the cover government too comfortable And they make the people look at workless people them in the island comfortable. So I sorry the day these people say them are going to help these people in this hurricane. It's so unhash, you know. But sometimes you have to give people tough love because the people in Jamaica are nonsense. So nobody outside should name a glass of water. Nobody outside should give them even a glass of water. They would have to come together and demand the government. Because remember the constitution back when in the government for help you know, in a natural disaster, go on food, shelter and water, you know, by right, you know. So because these outside help come in, and the World Health Central Kitchen, it should never come in an island. It shouldn't come in at the island. So the government would have to use the resources they then get and deal with them for deal with it. But these people, piece of separation of the whole them, Chrissy. Gloria, piece of separation of the whole these people. The good of the go suffer for the bad. I said go. All the year talking if I'm a local youth. Say the good of the suffer for the bad. Right now, the good of the suffer for the bad. People for love these people make them suffer and who for dead, and who for live, and who for wake up, blood clot, wake up. And so now have to deal with these people. When you run going to give them no blood clot help, who for dead. And who for wake up. You have to give these people tough. They have to learn the hard way. Jamaican have to learn the hard way. Then choose to learn the hard way. Nobody enough to help them a glass of water they not forget. They have a government. Nobody outside of render no assistance to nobody upon the island. So if they can't demand what they want from the government, then stay in the yard and dead. And search for go. They want to learn the hard way. Make them learn the hard way. Make them learn. Move the mind the next disaster come now. And Andrew Black, all outside aid. Make one have to learn the hard blood clot way. Because the whole island are the same thing. The PNP and the Labour right are the same thing. If you don't even watch me, are the truth. And sometimes the truth hurt. But looking on the life, are the same thing because there's enough on the island. And you still sit back and not do nothing. I remember from the day when I telling you, he's not a PNP vlogger. He's a revolutionist. Truths are right me I deal with. Saying, and we do it a different, you know. And we are different from 5 years now, we are talk a different, you know. And you still sit down and look like brother dog. We are the same thing like Labour, right? So, when I write the good things about the PNP, and only we are talking the first time PNP them. The good things that we are talking, and only the first time PNP them we are talking about. We don't talk about Uno. We don't sell blood clot out. We are talking the first time PNP. The PNP them run the Mama P time. And Mama P goes PNP goes straight back. And them PNP they were big up. Then look on new PNP now. Them and the Labour right are the same thing when you see it in front of the eye. Them and the Labour right are the same thing. Same what this blood clot them. Them are hide under the Mama P, PNP, them are going like they have ambition. Them what the same like a Labour right them. You don't see it. All of the Mama P Labour right them dead out. If they left back, you can't count them by your hand. You can't count them by your hand. Look, action speak louder than road. Like that road. These set of PNP will exist now in Jamaica. Them are the same sellout bumbuckler, same like Labour right them. You don't see it. Neither come to them can come together amongst themselves. Neither come them can come together amongst themselves and say, watch this. When I wait for nobody for do it for you, I do it for myself, and so watch this. We are going to make them set up PNP know that we are going to win and go wear no uniform. We are going to plain clothes. And we are going to spread the word that they can go straight across because we don't have connections straight across the island small. So if we don't want to organize one protest, we can do it across the social media space, through WhatsApp. We don't know people. We can pinch it and say, yo, make the council know, say, And Monday, man, we are go to now, we now wear no uniform, we now wear no color, party color, you know. We are go to now with plain clothes. And this is somebody call somebody on next place and say, but they don't say, we are go to we now wear no party color, you know. So, and the link make, I want to go out like normal Jamaican, don't wear no party color. And go demand what you want. But you know, do so the labor at the same thing, on a false pretend. Under false pretend. And this time, prove it to me. This time, prove it to me. PNP, if you turn up for PNP, you know. PNP, if you turn up for PNP, the PNP them selfish and labor right them. PNP, if you turn up for PNP at this time, yeah. But then become one set of selfish blood clot on the island. And I just the truth if I don't want to make for no business. Because remember, I not do this for money. I just choose and right now deal with. So I like me come over YouTube and come put up video because I want to make a pay. No. It hurt our going in the country. The whole time people say the higher the monkey climb are more exposed. So me get exposed and know the country can run better. And how you can run better. Because you have to run better when you have good leader. So my eye open. Say without a good leader the country can't function. And the country can't function with thief. The country function with thief. Look how much money thief. Look, Andrew Wallace and Christopher Tufton are hustle the hospital. I hustle the blood clot public hospital. I hustle the hospital, you know. And you are going to tell me now, remember, you know, a PNP and labor right, I use the healthcare institution them. I go in there and see the condition. So you tell me say the labor right, the PNP them, don't have no sense like the labor right them. You tell me say the PNP go use this institution and see the condition and neither can come to themselves and say, no man, we have to go protest against this. Yeah, them are the said blood clotting like a labor right them. No one back in Mama P labor right them. The PJ labor right them. And go down. And them the PNP one back. The Mama P PNP. The PJ PNP. Them a PNP live like labor right. Nothing about them. Nothing about them. Look at this girl up on the screen. Then take out all reading out of school. Reading, then take out of school. And who was a former picnic at school? PNP are labor right. And then take reading out of school. And if you never break on social media, the parents may still continue with the government taking out reading out of school. And then they're not a problem with that. And the parents them island wide should have in an uproar when the government take out reading out of school. Understand that happen? Because we have a nation of blood clot zombie. We have a nation of zombie. We have a nation of zombie. And all these zombies are run down are money. So because of money, everything else blind to everything else because of money. And I know so the system of them are create. The same money of them are going to run down. They can't go spend it as they like. So when time them busy run down the money, when you should have pay attention, when a time now, then still them go spend the money are under restriction. And what them can't do about it. Then you can't go do nothing about it, them have to go comply and become a fake blood clot full slave to the system. Them have become a faithful slave to the system. So all I would say, then can't put on the back in a slavery. Our ancestors then bit full, that is why people the ancestors put them in a slavery. This nation is fuller than our ancestors them. This nation now, this generation, fuller than our ancestors. This generation we operate now on the island is way fuller than our ancestors them. This generation on the island have every information at their disposal and still I go back into slavery. But now come tell me say, this generation of Jamaicans fuller than the ancestors. And that's the fact. And that's the truth. Who want to listen to some more of that thing?
That is an exemplar of consensus. I'll now provide some of that information. So we've changed PEP, Mr. President, The dates have been provided to our senators so you can be a part of telling everybody that it's okay. We're going to be fine. At grade 6, we've made some changes. We are going to have less exams, and the exams will start later. We don't want to put our children in the West at a disadvantage. And that's why we've made these changes. And we believe that they are good changes. We also have made some changes at the grade 5 level, again, making them later and contracting what we're doing. At grade 4, we will only do the literacy and numeracy tests. PEP will operate a little different this sitting. So we've de-emphasized non-essential areas and shifted priority to core competencies. And this is an effort to create a more balanced assessment for all students so as not to introduce any disparities in the results and time available to the students. And Mr. President, I want to thank the Independent Schools Association because a lot of parents were anxious about this, and they had a webinar with the ministry there, and there were over 1,000 people on that call. I tried to go on, Mr. President, but I couldn't get on because they had reached their limit in terms of that. But a lot of parents were on, and in fact, that evening I went to the pharmacy and heard a parent listening in on the call, and so I was able to hear some of the meeting because of that. But we are also working with our parents to ensure that they understand and they know what is happening. Mr. President, even in the midst of managing the fallout of a Category 5 weather system, we must always keep our eyes on how we can move the needle and improve education standards. And starting in the 2026 sitting, we will introduce for the first time literacy and numeracy components to the grade 6 PEP. As we prioritize the foundation of learning, this is an important and timely reform because it strengthens our ability to measure and therefore improve the most important building blocks of learning. And so, Mr. President, a lot of people will look at the language arts test at grade 6 and say, that tells you if a child is literate. It does not. It's not designed as a literacy test. And so for the first time at grade 6, we will be administering a literacy and a numeracy test. And so what we've done in that regard, Mr. President, is to prepare documents, because you know there can be anxiety whenever there's a new thing. And so we've prepared these and have shared it across the system. And these are test preparation guides. And we've done it for numeracy, literacy, all the exams for PEP, so that parents and students and teachers can see what kind of questions we have. And I would implore my colleagues here to look outside at what we have, because it tells you a lot about where we're coming from. In the past, a literacy test was really word recognition. So you would have RAT, and you'd ask someone, do you know what that is? And they'd say yes, and you'd see a series of words, and they'd recognize them. That was what our traditional literacy test was. But now when we do literacy tests, it's a completely different thing. And when you look in this publication, you'll see a few things. It tells you about the test. And this is an example of what a literacy test in modern times look like. You get the board at Norman Manley International Airport, all the flights coming in, the times that they're coming in, whether they're delayed, whether they've arrived, where they're coming from. And then children are asked questions in relation to it and be able to understand what they have seen in that chart and be able to answer questions. Another example was an article on Portmore, and it speaks about when Jamaica gained independence and what Wicon did to build Portmore. It speaks about when each of the areas were built, Bridgeport in 1972. All of that is in here. And then it asks you questions on that to see if you comprehend. That's what.
And I think about it, I don't build no school on the island. I don't come and talk about school. Remember, I never believe in a school. A selfish, I don't believe in a pussy. Remember, selfish, I don't believe in a pussy. I never believe in a school. Remember, I the selfish government, I want to remember for your mom and I'm selfish, Remember, if your mama and your papa name is one of the selfish government, you know? One of the selfish government. But this a girl now, see that girl here? The school that this a girl up on the screen go. This a dirty girl up on the screen go. The school that a drunker up on the screen go. If it wasn't for Michael Mann, this drunker, this warring sodomite drunker could never go out of the school. If it wasn't for Michael Manley, this dirty girl up on the screen could never do which part she did. Michael Blood Clot Manley make she could have able to go to the said school where Right Man go. This girl and Right Man go got the same top school. And that's because of Michael Manley. Because of Michael Manley, make so good Andrew Warnes got the school that him go. Because of Michael Manley, make this a over up on the screen could have able to go to the school that him do. But she go. Michael Manley. The People's National Party set the thing. For these junker can get some education, to come out and try to mislead the mass when they shouldn't enlighten the mass with truths and right. So then use Michael Manley institution, which is a school that Michael Manley believe in education. So then go through this Michael Manley institution where Michael Manley say, yo, you want a nation of educated people. The laborers say they want a nation of selfish nyama. She got to school because of Michael Manley. And look how this girl become a Judas. Him and so could Andrew. And so could Christopher Tufton. And a lot goes on. And so could Cliff Hughes. If it wasn't for Michael Manley, Cliff Hughes couldn't go to school with him go. So this is also an ungrateful junker on the screen.
Modern day literacy tests are. And so you can't really compare past tests with this test. But at least now we have a benchmark at grade 6. And I can say to you that literacy levels are this. Numeracy.
Not even themselves they not think about. Not even themselves they not think for child. Believe. If the people they not think for them, it's a different child. And even themselves they not think about. These are some worthless set of people. Worthless set of people. And me I tell you, the good PNP them and the warrior PNP them stop with Mama P. Wanna look the PNP them from Mama P till now. They not different from the Mama P PNP them. They not different from the PJ PNP them. They not different from the Manly PNP them. You see difference. These PNP residents in Jamaica now, they will sell out. If they never have the sellout mentality, then I take off them particular and come protest all over the island for a better Jamaica, for themselves and for them kids and them family future. If we did have the Mama P, PNP them left in Jamaica, an island-wide protest would have gone already. So, these PNP within an island, we sit down and not say nothing. The good have to go suffer for you bad. And I tell you now, you're not going to remember this channel. You're not going to remember this channel. You don't have to remember this channel. This channel will go down in a prophecy, you know. That channel here will go down in a prophecy. You're not going to remember this channel. Because it's one time, you enroll yourself in the mark of the beast system. And you not do the system so you do. You're not going to remember this channel. But in a one way, someone of dead out of the island. Because we can't have an island to be an idiot. We can't have an island to be an idiot. Some idiot them have to reduce. And the sensible one now start make baby and get some brilliant people. We can't have an island to be an idiot. No, someone have to dead out. Yeah man, see that some more storm have to come wash us someone I gotta see. Or earthquake come and drop down some billion pounds someone. Someone have to dead out. Too much worthless people upon the island. The island becomes stagnant with too much worthless people. So someone really for dead out of an island for true, because it's island stagnant with worthless people. The island is so fucking stagnant with worthless people, low self-esteem people, no ambition people. The island full of too much on. So some disaster will come wash some on. Go and see, make shark name on. And that's the truth. I'm not care if we're feeling when I hurt. Someone don't forget what you gotta see. Make shark name on. Too much worthless people. Oh, too much worthless people can't flourish. The place can't flourish. Too much worthless nigga. The country can't move forward. Too much worthless nigga. Someone have it dead out. I make the people them have sense to make baby. With them baby I will come and have sense. A matter of fact though, some of these people forget banned from breed and get picnic. On a low self-esteem people in Jamaica, don't forget banned from breed and get picnic. We full up the land with beer, blood clot, what this picnic, like Uno. Someone don't forget banned, someone don't forget no picnic on the island. Because when we so full up the island, that's our next, what this picnic like on yourself. Some of the island need to purge out these people. The island really need a purge of what this nigga. Too much what this nigga there on the island. Too much blood clot cruff left on the island. Too much cruff in a clean clothes there on the island. Too much blood clot cruff. Too much worthless nigga dressed up in a clean clothes there on the island. Some of them there on TikTok. Some of them there on Instagram. Too much worthless people. So some disaster for washing no got blood clot see. Joan off on a bumbo clot. Too much on there on the island. No sense. No suit no purpose. Don't even love the island. Don't even defend the island. So what purpose no suit on the island? Someone no suit no purpose on the island. You don't love yourself. You don't love the island. You don't love nothing. So you just a whole up space. You just a whole up space. Someone have to wash a guy see. Make shark name no. Or a landslide come and just bury someone. Or look a mud flood come and just bury someone of blood clot and a mud. And then you start building pan top of mud. You don't have no sense. Someone have to dead out. The island not have so much idiot. When the island full of so much idiot, sensible people suffer. When the island have so much idiot, the sensible people going to suffer.
Levels are this, and then we can work overtime now to actually improve it. We can't just use the language arts tests or mathematics tests because those are not testing pure literacy and numeracy, but we will make that adjustment this year. We also have made some adjustments, Mr. President, to some of the other exams. We've made our age 4 assessment a little later. The age 4 assessment is important, so we still want to do it because we want to be able to pick up learning challenges early. And so that age 4 test in our early childhood institutions, we still want to do it across the country, and we're going to do that between June 1 and 12, 2026. We've suspended the grade 2 diagnostic test and the grade 9 test, but we'll still do the grade 3 diagnostic test. We also have some changes with City and Guilds in consultation to make it easier for our students. We have the dates remaining the same, but the registration window was extended, and there's also going to be a special sitting in November for those who don't feel that they're ready. And so again, I thank City and Guilds for working with us on this. And results will still come out at the same time.
If you listen to these people talk about education, and then party never build an education. The party never believe in education. I know them have try convince the local blood clot what these people them. Like this party believe in education. This is not the party we believe in education. This is a PR government. A PR government. Remember them five go, alright, look how much school these people lock down. One of those go do one research and check how much school labor right lock down. Check. Starting from basic school up. Look how much school then lock down. And look how much school them build. Go down and run a research.
As if there was no hurricane. They're also providing free student workbooks in maths and English and also in customer service level 1. And we also have these hard copies that are available for students across the system, and we also have digital copies that are available. In terms of CX...
I say these new kids who are going to school, remember them people with a new curriculum phone, you know. So these new people who are going to school, I want different type of fucker them how to teach them, you know. Them are going to program in them brain, you know. These new batch of people who are going to school, it is a new curriculum for them. So them are going to learn some different things what you don't know. Hey, no question everything. Hey. You see when time you know the thing, like you know what happened, and the people them around you don't know, and you try to tell them what happened and them can't see it. Sometimes it pain your heart, you know. Like it hurtful. When time like you show somebody something and them can't see it. It's stressing. Like even though they're in front of them, and you show them a plain and you show them, say, yo, see it there, you know. And them can't see it. So it feed upon you, you know. It feed back upon you, you know. Affect you, you know.
We had consultations locally and with CXC, and we've come up with some options. Option A, and this is for students not impacted by Hurricane Melissa. They'll sit...
That is why, you know, you see if you don't prepare mentally and physically and spiritually, your third eye can't up me, you know, because you're mad, you know. You have to work on yourself in order for information start revealed to you, you know. Because it can be stressful. Yeah, so you have to prepare, you have to build. Yo.
Their exams as normal, but with concessions re-SBAs. So SBAs can be given later. There are also an exemption for late fees and deferrals if required. Option B is a modified approach for schools in the affected parishes. And under option B, students will sit paper 1, which is the multiple choice paper, only with their SBA concession. And this will benefit, they'll also benefit from late fee exemptions and deferrals if they need it. But what's interesting, our schools in the West can determine whether they want to use option A or option B. And what makes me happy as minister is to hear my principals say, my students need no concessions. They are doing the full exam because they are ready. And so I thank...
All right. The next thing I have a problem with school. I don't believe, say, see, we have pay the teacher them for teach the picnic them. And then turn around and for pay school fee for God the institution where we build. Remember, we are pay the teacher, we build the school. We should not pay a school fee. We should not pay a school fee because and like the teacher go free. We already pay the teacher, we are pay the principal, we are pay the chef, we are pay the groundsman, we are take care of the school, we are pay the bills for the school, we are pay everything for the school, you know. We should never pay a school fee. These are the type of way the Jamaicans should not think. We pay this teacher. The teacher now left our yard, or the teacher now left him yard, and got the school go work free. At the end of the month, they might get a salary. The principal, the education minister, member, and we maintain the school. We pay the light, we pay the groundsman, we pay the chef, we fence the school, we pay security for watch the school, we do every fucking thing when it pertaining to the school. We should never pay a school fee to non-government. When time we already pay the teacher, what we pay the school fee for? What the purpose of the school fee? When we build the school, we pay the teacher, we finance every fucking bill when it pertaining to the school. Why we pay the school fee? Why Jamaican one agree if you pay school fee? When time we pay the teacher, we pay everything. We are kind of like these people that know say them pay everything we pertaining to the school, government school, and we pay the bills. We build the school. We do everything pertaining to the school. Every school want a light bulb, and we buy it. Every toilet them now work good, and our money fix it back. If the land want cut, we cut it. If the school fence pop down, we put it up back. If the school top pop up, we fix it back. And we do it. Why? We are them a charge we now to send we to come at the institution where we build. Why them a charge we? Why them a charge we? Ask yourself that. I don't pay no school fee for my son. I don't pay no school for my son for go to school, you know. Nobody don't pay a school fee, so. Because government, a taxpayer money run all of these institutions. Saying it is a scam. When they talk about if you pay a school fee. It is a scam. But nobody, they don't have no brain to look on it like how me I look on it. They don't have no brain, you know.
Those principals, and these are our schools in the West, that are saying our students, despite this, we have done the work with them, we're doing work with them after school and on weekends, and they'll be ready to do the full exam. I'm very, very happy, and I am very happy that our teachers have been able to do that. In terms of those who need extensions, there are no late fees that will be charged. And I should also note, Mr. President, that the OEC is giving quite a bit of concession to our students across the system. Mr. President, I now move on to something in relation to skills very quickly. Despite several HEART NSTA trust training facilities and administrative offices sustaining extensive damage leading to major disruption of operations and service delivery, the trust must keep fulfilling its mandate. The construction industry is one of our economy's most robust drivers of growth. Before the hurricane, we were pushing up on the limits of our readily available labor pool. As a result of Melissa's impact, demand for trade labor will skyrocket, and we're seeing it already. It's been hard to get the laborers to do the work for schools. To bring the market into equilibrium, HEART will rapidly ramp up.
Hey, this mad girl talk something you know. I do construction in Jamaica, seeing? I do finishing work. So I deal with plaster and showeland. In the hotel them. And Jamaica is short a worker, a labourer. Jamaica can't short a workers. It's not possible. Me I work a hotel, you know. Because I work almost on the whole of, I work on hotel from Ochi to Negril. Yeah, I work on hotel from Ochi to Negril, all over. Name, you can name it. Name any hotel you want to think about. I work on them. All over the island. See? And if I talk about labourer, when a hotel I go refurbish and the work I go start, but I like CVM or TVJ, take a drive and go to the gate of these sites and see the amount of thousands of people there I look for work. And one time, everybody enroll in them different departments, company work site can look how much thousands of Jamaican upon it work. So Jamaican no shorter workers, none at all. But through they want import teams and workers like they can afford it. For this week, they look at local workers them. They might talk about labor work and skill work. Amount of skill work that, hey, what the government for do or should not do, go around and certify these skill youth in the different garrison them. Because when you go into the garrison them, a lot of trade youth in the garrison them. A lot of trade man, but they're not certified. So that is why I'm talk about this. Then if you go around and certify all of these skill man and woman in the island and enroll them in the workforce. Because we have a lot of skilled workers. You know what Jamaican guys from different Caribbean country work, I do trade work? Eh? Women that beaches, you know how much of my friend them gone to Caribbean gang work? in a different Caribbean. The amount of skill them used to certify down a Rio. You have some people from the go around and certify. Enough you to get certified. But them need for them used to go around on the site and certify a lot of people. Them need to do it more. Like not only go on the site, go into the community them. And certify these skilled workers and enroll them in the workforce. And stop tell lie. Because we're not short of work up on the island. None at all.
Training in the trade and construction areas. And the first component of this policy push, Mr. President, has already started to take shape. Last week, I unveiled the Building Resilience and Inspiring Development Through Guided Experience, BRIDGE, initiative at an event at the Jamaica Society for the Blind. The goal of BRIDGE is to create real pathways into work for young people while accelerating recovery in communities most severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. Mr. President, the BRIDGE initiative will engage at the start 200 unemployed youth ages 18 to 25 drawn from St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James, and Hanover. We will equip them with practical, marketable construction skills through supervised on-site work experience. The best way to learn construction is on the site. And so they'll be on active reconstruction projects while we provide them with a stipend of $65,000 per month. So they're learning, we give them the stipend, and they're helping to rebuild the West. Participants will be trained and supported by HEART-certified instructors and will gain hands-on exposure in priority skills areas that are immediately relevant to rebuilding homes, schools, and critical community infrastructure. There will also be an element of international exposure because the participants will benefit from visiting technical expertise and structured partnership with countries including Rwanda, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Guyana. And so we find that to be another added element of our work. Mr. President, I'll quickly just say something on Youth Month, which was in November. Mr. President, we had to revamp our plans for Youth Month 2025 in light of changing circumstances post-Melissa. In direct response to Hurricane Melissa, we pivoted away from the scheduled activities and decided to focus our young people on volunteerism. And so the new theme was Youth Can Rebuild Jamaica. The theme deliberately positioned young people as a central agent in Jamaica's rebuilding effort. We targeted 17 communities in the West, roughly 4.
Thank you, Senator Tim.
Good morning, colleagues. And Happy New Year as well. I am, Mr. President, especially pleased to hear that all schools have resumed teaching and learning, and I want to congratulate all the initiatives that have been taken to ensure that this has happened, including on our side, Mr. Damian Crawford's initiative in St. Catherine for students from the rural area to come in and for families to adopt families to allow children to go to school. I want to commend teachers who also take individual initiatives to ensure that their children are learning, even while teachers themselves have suffered in this period. And I reiterate, as I did the last time, I would like to hear from the Minister what special initiatives are being made to ensure that teachers' well-being is attended to in the post-Melissa recovery period. While I am happy about the return to the classroom, I am also especially interested in not just the return, but also what is the quality of return. In that regard, I would want to hear more about what exactly it looks like for children to be in school at this time. When should we expect that they have roofs over their heads,
that they have water, that they have electricity, and that the conditions are more ideal. And in addition to that, what exactly do the conditions look like on the ground? We have heard that some schools are in rotational form, and it begs the question, what is it that is driving the rotation, and what are the specific needs of those schools at this time? I'm also concerned with the quality of education in general. We did not just emerge upon crises in education in Melissa. We have long-standing concerns about the quality of education, including as it relates to literacy in our population. And I note the minister's emphasis on testing at grade 6, or introducing testing at grade 6 for literacy. In our system, we have learned our children learn to read up to grade 3, and then they read to learn thereafter. Thereafter, starting at grade 4, they are in constant testing environments, and there is tremendous emphasis on testing, which in my mind questions whether the testing is not a substitute for actual education. In that regard, I raise questions about what it is that is intended to be achieved when a test is introduced for literacy at grade 6, when early childhood learning is a time at which students' literacy should most be impressed upon them, especially in an environment such as this, where language differences exist, where we are operating in a two-language system, and where awareness of that language is critical to the prospects for improving literacy. Is the expectation that it is at the secondary level that the children will be catching up and improving their reading and comprehension at that stage? Certainly, we all know that the secondary school system is meant to prepare students for the world of work, and if they are spending those years catching up, it begs questions about what is the quality of education at the primary level. In addition to this, I am concerned about what we are learning from the data that the ministry is receiving about how our students as well as our teachers have experienced Melissa and its aftermath. At the last sitting where the minister gave us an update, I recommended a collaboration with the Ministry of Culture that would deal with the questions of trauma and put in place a national program of repair incorporating the arts and measures like storytelling and such. You have reiterated today that the arts is deployed in the psychosocial therapy that is being conducted within the schools, and therefore I would like to know, or for you to advise us, what are we learning about the mental health of our children and our teachers, and how exactly are we helping them to recover in that sense? We are all concerned with where education is going, and Melissa has certainly put a spoke in the experiences of schools and of rural communities in particular, but I would hope that in this process we are also beginning to focus on what is needed within our education system. I see here where there is an emphasis or a change in the emphasis on what will be examined in the PEP examinations, where you are saying that non-essentials are going to be removed and that core is now being centered. What exactly are these non-essentials? Why were they included in the first place? And what does it mean that we can now focus on core? We would like to know what is core, what is expected from this attention to core, what does it mean in the bigger picture of the quality of education that is being offered in Jamaica. In the future sessions of the Senate, I expect that we will be having debates about what the quality of education is, what education should look like, what is the ethos of education in the society, and how we imagine that we will use the education to build the kind of society that we would all want to live in, including values like respect for each other, respect for our cultural background, our history, and how we can create new knowledges to make us a society that is ready for climate disaster, ready for innovation, ready for creating a Jamaica where people actually want to live. Thank you.
You had some specific questions, Senator Tim, that Minister, you want to respond to them now, or you're going to wait? Okay, thank you very much. Senator Anderson, you are in your seat, or you're...
I am not. I sought permission earlier.
Okay, good.
But I've moved again, so should I seek permission again?
You don't need it again. You have my permission.
All right. All right.
Thank you, Senator Tim. Senator Anderson.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, House Leader. Minister, thank you so much for such a comprehensive report. It gave us good insight. I had 3 questions. I note you spoke about World Food Program and them helping to assess, to restart the school feeding program. I wondered if there was a timeline for them to be ceasing their services and to find out if the program that will be restarted through school feeding will also incorporate families, because I'm assuming that not all the families immediately will be returned to normalcy. The Bridge Initiative, I note you named a definite number of youth, 200 to start. I wondered how they were selected. They have not been well. My request is that it's in a non-partisan way, and that people who actually need it, and that representatives across the aisle also get to suggest names for people to join. And then the last thing I want. I wonder why you're getting help, Minister. Minister, why somebody on your side feel that they have to help you? Tell them not to help you. You can manage it by yourself.
Senator Anderson, just stick to your script. You're good.
All right. And then lastly, Minister, I know that Senator Thames spoke about the assessment for teachers, but I really want to put the question back on record, because I know that several of our teachers are actually suffering. Just now I got a message on my phone from a teacher in Hanover who actually lives on the school property, and the flat, the roof is gone, but she's been told to put the roof back on and school starts back next week for her. So, I really don't know how we're helping the teachers themselves, and I'd like to really hear what the plan is for assessing and determining how best the state can help them. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Anderson. Senator Brown? Senator Brown?
Thank you, President. I was wondering why Senator Morgan...
I never heard anything, though your ears are very good.
I know you don't, and that's because I'm hearing. I'm just wondering why he's...
It's all right, you go on, you ask your question, man. You're good to go.
Yeah. Minister, I want to join you in thanking UNICEF and the other partners. I note UNICEF is distributing around 300 learning kits, and that is to be in short order. That hasn't been done yet, but they are providing it. Could you indicate to us whether or not, what's the population in which these 300 kits are going to go? Is it the early child education, 24,000? So it's 3 into 24,000. 300 into 300. All right, you have to be there. People understand. Into 24,000. Or is it into the 152,000 total? We also want to know whether or not the government is invested, if you see the value of these kits, if you are investing in acquiring from the source that UNICEF has acquired sufficient kits to fill out the gap, large gap that is left when we get this 300 from UNICEF. I also want to ask the Minister whether that bold initiative by a Member of Parliament, former Senate colleague of ours, Damien Crawford, to pull people from the affected areas into St. Catherine, working with the church and other civic-minded people, whether that's an initiative that the ministry, your ministry, and is he finished? Does the gas run out of you? Yeah. So, yeah, as the gas run out of you. So the question, Minister, is whether or not you personally and the government endorse that initiative of MP Crawford, Damien Crawford that is, and whether or not that's an initiative that you believe your ministry could urge others to take up. And in that said light, the Adopt a Family approach adopted by MP Dayton Campbell in Eastern Westmoreland, whether or not that's an approach which the ministry would recommend across other affected constituencies, so that our children, who many of whom are still without roof, can find some comfort where it is possible for others in a better situation to accommodate them. And with that, I really want to thank you and beg you not to treat St. Morgan in the way Manchester United treat Amarin. May I please you? You really want to know?
Senator Brown, you know, I was so distracted, I thought you had at least another half hour. Anybody else to say, ask any? Minister, you want to respond there? One minute, Minister. 1 minute, please.
Mr. President.
Yes. You have a question to ask?
Yes, for the Minister. Minister, in keeping with the government's commitment to better cater to the education of our nation's children by assisting with transportation to school via the rural bus system, I note the resumption of this important service and the Ministry's appeal to the parents to ensure that they sign up their children or ward to the JUTC's card, since the service is intended to be cashless. And my question...
And we know there'll be an avalanche of sign-ups next week as we get closer to the February 1 deadline. I'm also going to look at attendance, which had been asked about. In Region 2, we're at 80% attendance. In Region 3, we're at 82% attendance. In Region 4, 72% attendance. Now, those numbers are not where we want it to be. But guess what? We have the numbers. And that's important because it means that we're tracking it. If we don't measure it, we're not really doing anything towards it. And so each week, we're tracking these numbers, ensuring that they're going up, working with our guidance counselors as they go out into the communities. And so, Mr. President, I think I've answered all of the questions that had been asked, and I thank my colleagues for your attention to this and for your support too, going forward.
Yes, Senator Brown.
Follow up to the questions, to the answers. Minister, of all the buses, rural school buses that were promised, I think we were promised 100 and odd, of all of them now being received and are in operations, I think there are 60 odd or something like that that was outstanding. Could you indicate the status of those and what role El Hydro is playing in the cards? And the final follow-up question is that thank you for, I hope I can get this one for Zander, but this is number one of 2026. What numbers you expect to be putting out? And this one is for the boys, but in light of the reggae girls, and since girls do play football, and FIFA has been promoting all of us to play the game. All to play the game. You, me, all of us. Is there going to be one in honor of the great Bunny Shaw? The great Bunny Shaw and the reggae girls? And is there going to be one for Sunshine Girls or Netball Queens? So I hope that 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 will reflect those, because I believe when you made the point about girly versus boys, you know that there is an issue with, I'm going down there, you know that there's an issue where the international community have been put in a certain direction. And is this part of the Jamaican resistance to that international push?
Minister, you can answer that? Yes. No, I'm not going back down there in the Senator team. Yeah. Senator Brown, I've allowed him, but I'm not going back down there. Senator Tim, is one question you have? No, can't follow up, Mr. Brown. Everybody asks question and get the answer already, you know. Senator Tim, I'm going to lean over backwards to facilitate. No, not necessarily, you know, Senator Brown. Go ahead, Senator Tim.
To extend the gender question, I would like to know if the ministry is...
Tom Tavares, I got ask Dora if she can answer the question if she want to answer the question where Longbrook Brown asks her. But when I tell Tom Tavares, say, see, climb on the tallest light post in Jamaica and go dive back in there, walk this moment breathe and get a drunk like you. Lego in Jamaica get problem. Tom Tavares Finson. Climb the tallest light post in Jamaica and dive back in your mama and go back any which way you come from. Anywhere you come from, Tom Tavares, climb on the tallest light post and do one header straight in your mama and go back which way you come from.
Taking measures to disrupt the gender rigidity in our social norms. Certainly we know that our current norms lead to violence between men and women, and I would like to know whether any measures are being taken, because you have stated that books are too girly and that you have replaced the girly books with, I guess, books for boys. And then secondly, I also heard you say that you found that the books that were created were too wordy for children, and I wondered whether the ministry was actually engaging experts on age-appropriate material that feeds into how we might encourage a culture of reading in the society, including bringing parents into the reading or expansion of
this come like a Batman book.
Thank you very much, Senator Tim.
This look like a Batman book them a promote in high school, you know. Hear what she say? Then change the book design from a girl to a boy. So we know Andrew wants a batty boy, we know Andrew wants a fuck batty. I just see if you come out and tell the Jamaican people, I make them know. We know Andrew Wallace is a batty boy. We can a little bit can serve for Bruce Golden. Can come out plain consent not in film cabinet. But we know say Andrew one is bottom are burning. We know Andrew one is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. We know him putting bottom over the counter for position. In can't chat to you. Andrew, you shit up. Andrew, you shit up. You walk around with a shit up pants, shit up brief. You shit up.
All right, Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President. In terms of the question on buses in operation, that would really have to go to Minister Vaz. I don't have that information right now. If I get it, I will pass it on to you. As I get it, I pass it on to you. In terms of age-appropriate reading and the material, we have experts in the ministry that are very well trained in terms of various models, and we also use experts from the university in terms of creating our programs. So when you see a book like that, you have literacy experts that are working on it. So you have the design team, you have a team of educators that are highly educated that are working on it. But that issue of inculcating that love of reading from early in our country is one that we've been paying quite a bit of attention to, and that's why giving students books that they can use and that's theirs is very important, and starting it very early is really important. And as to what Senator Brown has said, that is an example of one of the first ones that we're going to be doing. But of course, we know that the Reggae Girls have been to the World Cup multiple times and have done us very proud. I've gotten the chance to see them play. Sometimes I say they've performed better than other teams. But I won't go down that road. But we will have other ones. And even cricketers too. We'll do many variations of it. But there's one more question, Mr. President, that was brought up around violence towards women and how we treat with that. And in terms of our violence prevention program.
So boy named Abka, him send information on Cliff use them. But Andrew want a statutory declaration.
And
that boy that him do it.
With conflict.
Abka. I am leaking information to Cliff use. Abka. You must have Cliff use cock, and George Davis cock,
Thank you, Mr.
That boy.
Thank you very much, Minister. Minister Hill? Anything? No. Announcements?
Laid on the table of the Senate are the following: the National Housing Trust, Housing Benefits, Special Selection, Juno Crescent Housing Project Order 2025 under the National Housing Trust Act. Annual report of the Bath Fountain Hotel for the year 2021-2022. Annual report and audited financial statements.
Dora the Explorer, expert on the best baby father.
Financial year 2021.
Shit up prick.
2022. Annual report and audited financial statements of the Jamaica Promotions Corporation's JAMPRO for the year 2023-2024. Auditor General's Department Annual Report 2025. Auditor General's Department Performance Audit Report, Ensuring Value for Money in Public Health Procurement at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Independent Commission of Investigation, Second Quarterly Report 2025, April to June 2025. Independent Commission of Investigation, Third Quarterly Report 2025, July to September 2025. Integrity Commission's Investigation Report into concerns that Ms. Sashna Fuller, a securities analyst employed to the Financial Services Commission, failed to file her statutory declarations with the Commission for the year 2023, contrary to law. Integrity Commission's Investigation Report into concerns that Ms. Tamika Afflick, a securities analyst employed to the Financial Services Commission, failed to file her statutory declarations with the Commission for the year 2023, contrary to law. Annual report and audited financial statements of the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation for the financial year 2017-2018. Report on the appropriation account, head 5,000 recurrent Auditor General's Department for the financial year 2023-2024, and its related ministry paper numbered 1 of 2026, titled Certified Appropriation Accounts, head 5,000, Auditor General's Department for the financial year 2023-2024, and Auditor General's Department Appropriation Account 2023-2024, head 5,000 recurrent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bills brought from the Honorable House of Representatives. Petitions, papers, reports from committees, notices of motions given orally, questions and answers to questions, motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice, motions relating to the sitting of the Senate, motions for leave to introduce bills, the presentation of bills without the leave of the Senate first obtained. Public Business, Minister Hill. Sorry, Minister. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, on the 19th day of December 2025, the Trade Standard Incandescent Light Source Prohibition, except under the license, Order 2025, was laid on the table of the House and notice given for its affirmation. So, Mr. President, pursuant to the agreement of the April 19, 2018 among the energy ministers of the Caribbean community to phase out the importation and sale of incandescent light bulbs within the region, and consistent with the obligation of state parties under the Minamata Convention on Mercury, to which Jamaica is a signatory, and further to keeping with the Cabinet Decision number 3121, dated September 19, 2022, Mr. President, this Trade Standard Incandescent Light Sources Prohibition, except under license, Order 2025, the order, is issued under the authority of Section 8, subsection 1, item A, B, and C of the Trade Act. The order provides for the prohibition, except on the license of the import, export, manufacture, distribution, sale, and purchase of standard incandescent light bulbs commonly used for household, commercial, and industrial lighting, with effect from April 1, 2026. The order is made pursuant to the Trade Act, the Act, specifically Section 8, subsection 1, item A, B, and C, which empowers the minister to A, prohibit absolutely the importation of exportation of goods or any class or description of good from or to any country. B, prohibit such import or export except under a license granted by the minister. And C, regulate the distribution, purchase, or sale of goods or any class of description of goods. Consequently, Mr. President, the order is being promulgated in keeping with the Section 10, subsection 1, and Section 10, subsection 2 of the Act, and is subject to affirmative resolution of Parliament. The objects of the order are to facilitate the phase-out inefficient lighting technologies, support national energy conservation initiatives, align Jamaica's trade regulations with sustainable environmental goals, and enable a controlled and limited use of incandescent light sources where no suitable alternative exists. the order. Clause 1, citation. This clause provides for the short title of the order. Clause 2, interpretation. This clause defines authorized use, which, Mr. President, means incandescent light sources as outlined in the first schedule. License under Clause 4 of the order. Standard incandescent light source, Mr. President, means a light source containing a filament that produces light when heated by electrical resistance. Clause 3, prohibition and importation. Mr. President, this clause provides that prohibition on importation of standard incandescent light sources is prohibited except under the authority of a license. Licenses are valid for up to 12 months from the date of issue. The phased prohibition takes effect first, less than 40 lumens watt, effective April 1, 2026, and secondly, 40 to 54 lumens watt, effective April 1, 2027. Clause 4, Mr. President, deals with the licensing conditions. This clause provides that the minister may grant a license if satisfied that the use falls within the first schedule. Applicant must apply in writing using a form provided in the fourth schedule. Clause 5, Mr. President, deals with restriction on sale. This clause prohibits sale of imported standard incandescent light source if the seller has reason to believe they will be used for unauthorized purposes. Clause 6, Mr. President, deals with offenses and penalties. This clause provides that a person who contravenes Clause 3, unauthorized import, or Clause 5, unauthorized sale, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction before a judge or a parish court to a fine not exceeding Jamaican dollars 2 million or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years. Yes, these are the offenses under Clause 6. First schedule, this schedule provides the specific uses for which a license may be granted to import standard incandescent light sources. It provides for a, Mr. President, use in poultry houses limited to housing up to 4,000 birds, and B, Mr. President, other agricultural uses which alternative technologies cannot generate the required infrared heat. C, Mr. President, deals with exceptional cases where the applicant demonstrates to the satisfaction of the minister, after consultation with the minister responsible for energy, that no suitable alternative light technology exists for the intended purpose. The second schedule, Mr. President, this schedule sets out the implementation timeline for the prohibition on imports, provided for, Mr. President, the phase prohibition based on efficient lumens per watt. A, less than 40 lumens per watt, prohibited from April 1, 2026. And B, Mr. President, 40 lumens or more, but less than 55 lumens per watt, prohibited from April 1, 2027. The third schedule, Mr. President, this schedule outlines the specific categories of standard incandescent light sources that are exempt from the prohibition and may be imported without a license. These include, among others, incandescent light sources used in printers and computers, household appliances such as freezers and laboratory, and health care equipment. Fourth schedule, Mr. President, and this is the final one. This schedule provides for the application form that must be used when applying for a license to import incandescent light sources. If it pleases you, Mr. President.
Yes, Senator Scott Motley.
If it pleases you, Mr. President, I think it would be absolutely pellucid that the opposition would be supporting this order. We understand how the technology has improved in many areas, and we understand what incandescent lighting does to our environment. Not only is it that it uses a lot of electricity, and we know the impact of electricity on carbon emissions, but we do know that the percent of the heat which an incandescent bulb generates is just lost, is wasted. So of course we applaud it. We do understand why it is necessary to phase it, and that there are circumstances in which there is no substitute, so you have to use it. But generally speaking, we support this amendment which has been made. We believe that it is vital. We think that it will actually help the economy, as it will reduce costs. And you, Minister, have a particular interest in ensuring that medium and small businesses benefit from reduced charges. So without delaying, Mr. President, may I indicate that the opposition supports this order.
Thank you very much. Minister?
I seek affirmation of the order, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, members. The Minister is seeking the motion, the approval of the motion, notice of which was given on the 19th day of December and dealt with today. The Minister is seeking its approval. Those in favor? Against? Thank you, Minister.
Mr. President, earlier the Senate leader indicated that the debate on the Jamaica Promotions Corporation bill would commence today. Further to deliberations with my team, we have decided not to proceed with the debate today of the bill, and we will do it at a later date.
Thank you very much. No, I should say, Minister... No, he's not. No, Minister Hill and Leader Scott Motley. I should have had a word with you before. There are some housekeeping matters that I have to do, and they are not at this time ready. I'm going to ask, or I'm going to request that we rise and have lunch until 2 o'clock. I would just need a what? I'm sorry, we're going to deal with it now. If you just give me 5 minutes and we'll deal with it. And I'm not going to rise. I'm always afraid when you say that, you know, Senator, bro.
I should have raised it earlier. I have a document with your signature on it that expired on the 31st of December, which has my face on it. And I don't think any of the senators have received a new ID. So I just raised that because...
Mr. Cohen? Yeah. You can respond to Senator Brown. No, you don't have to do it publicly. I'll deal with it afterwards. Minister. No, he's going to talk to you afterwards. Yeah. Minister?
Mr. President, thank you. Mr. President, might I ask for recommittal of bills brought from the Honourable House of Representatives and for recommittal of notices of motion given orally?
Members would have heard the request of the Minister. Those in favour? Go ahead, Minister, please. I beg your pardon? Yes. Go ahead, please, Minister. Go ahead, Minister, please respond to bills brought from the Honourable House of Representatives.
All right, bills brought from the Honourable House of Representatives. So the following is a message from the Speaker of the House of Representatives. To the Honourable Senate, I have the honour to advise the Honourable Senate that on the 20th day of January 2026, the following bills were passed in the House of Representatives without amendment. An Act to amend the Financial Investigations Division Act and an Act to amend the Financial Administration and Audit Act. This message is from the Most Honourable Juliet Holness, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Mr. President, I signify my willingness to take charge of the bills.
A bill shortly entitled the Financial Investigations Division Amendment Act 2026 read a first time, and a bill shortly entitled the Financial Administration and Audit Amendment Act 2026 read a first time.
President, I beg to give notice of second reading of the bills.
Thank you, Minister. Notices of motions given orally.
Mr. President, I beg to give notice that at the next meeting of the Senate, I will move the following motions. Whereas subsection 1F of section 41 of the Constitution of Jamaica requires a member of the Senate to vacate his seat if he becomes a party to any. Whereas Senator Cavan Gale is an industrial relations consultant who may from time to time enter into contracts with the government of Jamaica and its affiliated agencies. Be it resolved that this Honourable Senate, pursuant to subsection 1F1 of section 41 of the Constitution of Jamaica, vacating his seat for reasons as aforesaid. Mr. President, I further beg to give notice that at a later stage today, I will move for suspension of the standing orders to enable me to take this motion. Mr. President, I also beg to give notice that at the next meeting of the Senate, I will move the following motions. 1, be it resolved that this Honourable Senate appoints a select committee comprising the following members: Senator Dr. the Honourable Dana Morris Dixon, Senator Shireen Golding, and Senator Donna Scott Motley, to sit jointly with a similar committee as appointed by the House of Representatives to consider and report its findings to this Honourable Senate on an act to facilitate the implementation of child diversion in the criminal justice system and for connected matters. Secondly, be it resolved that this Honourable Senate appoints a select committee comprising the following members: Senator Cavan Gale, Senator Rosemary Bennett Cooper, Senator Marlon Morgan, Senator Alan Bernard, to sit jointly with, sorry, are we missing a member from your side on this? To sit jointly with a similar committee as appointed by the House of Representatives to consider and report its findings to this Honourable Senate on Green Paper number 1 of 2025, the National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy 2025 to 2035. And thirdly, be it resolved that this Honourable Senate appoints a select committee comprising the following members: Senator the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Senator the Honourable Abka Fitz-Henley, Senator Cavan Gale, Senator Rosemary Bennett Cooper, Senator Donna Scott Motley, and Senator Keisha Anderson, to sit jointly with a similar committee as appointed by the House of Representatives to consider and report its findings to this Honourable Senate on the Domestic Violence Act. Mr. President, I further beg to give notice that at a later stage today, I will move for the suspension of standing orders in order to enable me to take those motions of which I have just given notice. Mr. President, I also beg to give notice that at the next meeting of the Senate, I will move the following motion. Be it resolved that the following orders be referred to the Regulations Committee of the Senate for consideration and report. 1, the National Housing Trust Housing Benefits Special Selection Industry Cove Manor Housing Development Order 2025 under the National Housing Trust Act, which was laid before the table of the Senate, laid on the table of the Senate on the 21st of November 2025. The National Housing Trust Housing Benefits Special Selection Catherine Estate Housing Development Batch 1 Order 2025 under the National Housing Trust Act, which was laid on the table of the Senate on the 21st day of November 2025. the National Housing Trust Housing Benefits Special Selection Massimut, I'm hoping that's pronounced properly, Flats Act, which was laid on the table of the Senate on the 21st day of November 2025. And fourthly, the National Housing Trust Housing Benefits Special Selection Juno Crescent Housing Project Order 2025 under the National Housing Trust Act, which was laid on the table of the Senate on the 23rd day of January 2026. And I further beg to give notice that at a later stage today, I will move for the suspension of the standing orders to enable me to take this motion.
Thank you very much, Minister. So we return to public business. Minister, there are a number of motions here. Are you suggesting that we take them en bloc? Because I wouldn't have a difficulty with that.
Yes, Mr. President. If I am able, save that. Yes, no, because I was looking at the language of the one which required reference to the Regulations Committee, but I do believe they can be taken en bloc. But if you could just give me one moment, Mr. President.
So there's an amendment to one of the motions. So do we need to return to?
We can, I believe,
can do
on moving the motion, we can
just
add
indicate
it
that.
and then, right.
Okay,
so we won't
much.
take them en bloc then. I will take that one and then we take the others en bloc.
Take that amendment and then take everything en bloc. So
right.
there's an amendment.
Agreed.
Or an addition is the correct phrase.
An addition.
To one of the motions.
Yes.
And would you just indicate what that addition is?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the motion in respect of the consideration and reporting on the Green Paper number 01-2025, the National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy 2025 to 2035, in respect of which we would add Senator Mazike Thame as a member of that committee to be proposed in the motion of which, in respect of which standing orders have been suspended.
And your request is now to? No, that has been done.
No, my request is now that all
what?
the motions
Yes, okay. Let me just, I'm going to, members would have heard the amendment. That is to say the addition of Senator Thame to the particular committee. Those in favor? Against? Okay, Minister, you can go and put the motions on block now,
Thank you,
please.
Mr. President. Mr. President, having suspended standing orders to allow me to take this, to take these motions, or rather, I'm now moving the motion for suspending the standing orders to allow me to take the motion.
Members should have heard the question. Those in favor? Against? Go ahead, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Standing orders having been suspended, may I ask that the motions of which I have given notice be approved?
Thank you. Members should have heard the question. Those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Minister.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I understand there has been robust discussion and debate this morning. I am so advised. I want to thank colleagues for their kind indulgence in my absence, and thank them for their contribution to national debate and for the engagement on the issues which will inform further debate, and to indicate that there is no intention to do any further business today and ask for adjournment for a date to be fixed.
Thank you very much. Just before we do so, as I think every member would now be aware, I would like to encourage members of the Senate to make every effort to attend the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association post-election seminar, which is to take place next week, Wednesday, January the 23rd, through to Friday, January 30th, from 9 to 4 p.m. each day. This seminar promises to be highly informative and a practical experience covering key areas such as leadership development, effective engaging in parliamentary procedure, and strengthening collaboration with the Clerks Committee and the wider parliamentary staff to improve efficiency and effectiveness of our work. Now, we are privileged to welcome a distinguished group of presenters from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Parley Americas, and members from the parliaments of Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, Canada, and as far as the United Kingdom. This will be an excellent opportunity for learning, exchange, and professional growth. And I strongly encourage all members to participate fully, if possible. And it would be very unfortunate if the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, with whom we have a tremendous collaboration, and no, may I put this in it? It would be very unfortunate if people, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, were to come and put on this seminar, and very few of us are in attendance. I don't know what the response from the House is, but I can tell you that only one member of the Senate so far has filled out the required form, and that person has 2 E's in the name. So, especially the newer members, I'm beseeching you. We'll come again? 28th to the 30th. That's what I say? Well, rest assured, I read what they give me, you know. So it's the 28th. It says next week Wednesday. Listen up, it's next week Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The Senate is likely to sit on Friday, but you could always, you know, if there's something important for you to attend on that day, you shuffle and make sure we maintain a quorum here. But as I said, it would be unfortunate for these people to be coming from so far, and there's only one member fill out the form. It don't look good. So I'm beseeching you, especially those who are here for the first time, try and make the effort. And if you can't even come for the entire day, come in the morning and spend some time, if at all possible. Any questions on that? Senator Brown.
With us what arrangements would be made for the Friday when, if indeed we are sitting next week, one would imagine members, even if they are first-time members, would want to be present in their sitting of the Senate.
Yes, well, we will be sitting in this chamber. Alternative arrangements will be made for the conference to continue elsewhere on the building. Yes, Senator Brown.
Since I'm not one of the younger ones, but I need to ask on their behalf, will those sessions be treated as a sitting of the Senate?
Yes.
It would be.
I understand what you are saying, and the answer is...
I know you are. You went to JC.
And
therefore the issue is that
the answer is yes.
Be
the answer
a good
is yes.
motivator.
Yes, it will be a good motivator, and
yeah.
I am sure that lunch will also be provided. So turn out, Yes, so that's it. Thank you very much. Minister?
It's a good question. It is. It's a day, it was almost a day for consensus and collegiality. It has been such a day, and we hope to continue in this spirit. It is not intended to do any further business, Mr. President. Might the Senate be adjourned for a date to be fixed?
Members would have heard the question. Those in favor? This Honorable Senate now stands adjourned for a date to be fixed.
Yeah, my viewers and subscribers. Here said Marga. And here said pop off until look more. Come here, come with a banger, you know. Somebody here get it together. So big up on yourself here. Look more. Chrissy, look more. Pamela, Walrex, Winifred, big up yourself. Look more here. Look more, me jump on back.
Well, this is the original Talk Your Mind TV. I'm Crazy J representing every time. Talk Your Mind, man, them know. I'm Mr. Circle, talk your mind because you come for chat it up. Chat about Jamaica when you go for
me mash up. Run over Cockmouth Kill Cock. I'm going to drop something over there right now. So run over Cockmouth Kill Cock and go keep on yourself entertained. Say, look more.
Me say corruption, a lick and it a lick and it a lick. Me say corruption, a lick, talk your mind, talk it. Hey, when corruption thing it a go stop. This a government a can't win back. SSL big E that thing that. You better bring back the 5 laptop. Investigation, we want know that. Mine a your name dep on the top. So Mr. Man, why you a try hide that? Me say corruption, a kick and it a kick and it a kick. Me say corruption, a kick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say corruption, a kick and it a kick and it a kick. Me say corruption, a kick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say talk your mind because the place won't fix. No have no money for go in a market. Can't afford medication if you feel sick. Go hospital, you have to pay for the trip. All Sergeant Brown get fed up of it. When rain start fall and the roof start drip. Statement for write and them can't write it. Hey Jamaica, no come listen this. The fireman said them want more equip. When the fire start, them not have nothing for out it. Me say corruption, a kick, it a kick, it a kick. Me say corruption, a kick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say corruption, a kick, it a kick. Me say corruption, a kick, talk your mind, talk it. Yo, we're kind of fed up of that system, man. You understand? You think control? Yeah, man. Them do some things in our eyes, brethren. Free Rasta. And some people see it and afraid for talk, you know. Talk out. You understand? But we not sit down and watch certain things that go on and don't talk, you know. We will speak out. You understand? That's what the thing there. You know. Crazy J. Yeah, man. Each one guide one, you understand? Hey, I whole heap of them they feel like say Jamaica give up on we, you know. Marky G, tell them so we're stronger than before. PNP, all comrades, stand up and sing that song loud and proud. This is Crazy J DJ, Sister Sandra, come sing.
We are like the storm.
Like the storm.
We are like the storm. We are like the storm that the builder is here.
Yeah, man, God bless.
Now we have to come.
PNP.
Now we have to come.
Become.
Now we have to come. The head of the corner.
Sandra, sing them.
We are like the storm.
Let them know.
We are like the storm.
One comrade.
We are like the storm that the builder is here.
Yeah.
Now we have to come.
We become.
Now we have to come.
Tell them what become.
Now we have to come.
The head of the corner. Crazy Jason. Comrades, 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 comrades. Every election they come run and trick we. Walk and talk about prosperity. No jobs, no road in every country. No, we can't even find food for feel picnic. Me have a little virgin when name Mikey. I want the impregnate from university. I want the me spot him a run taxi. All Jamaican who no come listen me. Vote for your change in every country. Sandra, share your testimony.
We are like the storm.
PNP.
We are like the storm.
Comrades.
We are like the storm that the builder is here.
Yeah, man.
Now we have to come.
PNP.
Now we have to come.
Marky G.
Now we have to come. The head of the corner.
Sandra, sing.
We are like the storm.
Like the storm.
We are like the storm.
Hey.
We are like the storm that the builder is here.
Talk to them, talk to them.
Now we have to come.
PNP.
Now we have to come.
PNP.
Now we have to come. The head of the corner.
Comrades, hear me, the man. Me say, the one bro God. Whenever mean we nothing, every minute take play. And you gone a foreign. Collect charity money and you take everything. With taxpayers money, you enrich yourself. I walk and I brag and I boast for your wealth. You see and one back the money, you must think this is funny. You think this is funny. Bring back, you see and gold money. Bring back the money. Before who no done it. Before who no do the youth want back the money, we want back the money. So who no bring back the money, bring back the money. I can't believe them rock this printing
We are like the storm. We are like the storm. We are like the storm that the builder refused. Now we have to come. Now we have to come. Now we have to come. The head of the corner. We are like the storm. We are like the storm. We are like the storm that the builder refused. Now we have to come. Now we have to come. Now we have to come. The head of the corner.
Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Comrade! Labor right, them a go down, bang. Them a go down, bang. Them a go down. Is that? Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. His, we now vote for Labour. Orange we a come out in now. If you love the PNP, who no step out for Markie G. Jamaica just come along with we. People time come, people time come, people time is ready. Markie G is the one. Markie G have the plan. This a fi all Jamaican.
Pull up Crazy J.
Hallelujah. Comrades, we are the government heading back to Parliament. We are the government heading back to Parliament. We are the government heading to Parliament. We are the government, we heading back to Parliament.